Welcome to the powerhouse of college baseball, where the lights shine brighter, the fans scream louder, and the power is always on. You might be wondering, where does all that power come from? It comes from the players, honoring the process and surrendering the results. It comes from the coaches, their relentless pursuit of victory. It comes from the box, through thick and thin. The greatest fans in college baseball. It comes from the past, the standard that's been set, and it summons the future. The standard that we raise. That's what keeps the lights on, the stadium packed, and the trophy cabinets full.
Let's go, Tigers!
That's what makes LSU the powerhouse of college baseball.
Miles outside of downtown Dallas from Arlington, Texas. It's the M&T Bank College Baseball Series presented by Kubota. Tonight, it's midweek baseball between a pair of top 25 programs as second-ranked LSU faces off against 19th-ranked Dallas Baptist. Two of the most consistent winners in college baseball go head-to-head for the first time, and we've got first pitch coming up next. From Globe Life Field alongside Ty Harrington, I'm Brain Freeman. What a matchup tonight between two teams out to a combined 13-2 start. Both lineups hitting the baseball really well. The pitching has been at a high level. This should make for a great matchup this evening.
I mean, both teams are off to an unreal start. I mean, you go digging through the stat sheet and look at how good and how balanced both of these teams are. And to grab them on a Wednesday night at Globe Life, that's pretty good stuff.
Taking a look at the tail of the tape between second-ranked LSU and number 19 Dallas Baptist. As we said, Ty, both teams pitching and hitting at a high level.
Yeah, they sure are. And again, every coach in America would take the stats of what they are working with right now.
You look at the numbers so far and take a look at the strikeouts alone, Ty. Both teams in the top 10 in the country in strikeouts of the first, or rather in hits allowed per 9 innings in the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I mean, and look, going back to the coaches' interviews before the game today, when we had a chance to visit with both of them talked about they liked their pitching. They liked their depth. They like to use the word, they like the pieces that they have in their bullpens and on their staff.
Now we take a look at the lineup for LSU presented by M&T Bank. The Tigers come in with a record of 7-1 and again hitting really well to start the year. Derek Hurriel leads off for the Tigers. He'll be followed by Jared Jones and Ashton Larson. Middle third of the order for head coach Jay Johnson, Daniel Dickinson, Stephen Milam, and Luis Hernandez. And the bottom third for the Tigers, Jake Brown, Michael Braswell, and Chris Stanfield. The hitters 1 through 9 for the Tigers here this evening. And the pitcher they're facing is Ryan Borberg for Dallas Baptist, a first-year transfer from Johnson County Community College. made his DBU debut last week at this ballpark against UTRGV. 3 innings of relief, struck out 4, gets his first start tonight.
Well, this is going to be exciting for him, and a guy they're relying on. We just talked about Coach Hefner likes his staff, and they would love to see this young man not only go perform well, but get some innings out and get his pitch count on up there in a midweek game.
Now we take a look at the Dallas Baptist defense. We'll start with the outfield. Tom Poole in left, Nathan Humphreys in center, Joey Narrett in right. For the Patriots, infield defense of Michael DeTalo, Luke Hefner, the coach's son, Mason Swinney at second, Chayton Krause is at first, and the catcher is Grant Jay. About ready for first pitch is Derek Curiel. Will come into the batter's box here for LSU. Talked about just how well the Tigers are hitting to start the year. The lineup batting .324 to start the season. And their look at Tigers head coach Jay Johnson in his 4th year at LSU, the 2023 National Coach of the Year.
I'm going to tell you what, 13-year head coach, and he's got a national championship under his belt. But when you get into a baseball conversation with him, he is so talented and fun to listen to when he starts talking about the game of college baseball.
Head coach for the Dallas Baptist Patriots is Dan Hefner. We talk about program building. He's been there for 18 years now.
I mean, it's almost, when you read that 18th season and what they've done, going from Division II to where they are today, and the job that man has done for DBU and with DBU, and what DBU has become, a baseball power in college baseball.
The 9th highest winning percentage among active Division I head coaches, Dan Hefner. As Curiel steps into the box here for the Tigers, more on LSU's offense to start the year. A team on-base percentage of .469. They're slugging .498. Big numbers so far for the Tigers.
And they're almost gaudy numbers when you start looking at that. I mean, impressive. We might have a gate open or a door open down in right field as you get a look at Derek Curiel. I'm telling you what now, coming out of high school, this young man right here had everybody's attention, one of the top recruits in the country. And I'm excited about watching him play tonight.
D1Baseball.com's preseason SEC Freshman of the Year. And opened the season on a 6-game hitting streak, already 16 total bases for the first 8 games of the season.
Well, we're trying to get, I thought it was going to be a gate fixed. Now we've got the first base umpire. John Bramer has come over to discuss it with everybody. I got a little extra pep in his step, trying to hustle back to his spot. And we're about to get the, hey, let's go, got a smile on his face. Let's roll.
Ready to get things going in their first ever meeting between the Tigers and the Patriots. Midweek baseball from Globe Life Field. And this game is underway on a fastball that misses low from Borberg. Amidst the high accolades for Curiel, was ranked as the 10th best high school player in the country, coming out of high school from West Covina, California.
Well, so far he's lived up to it too. Look, there's a lot of guys that come out of high school with a lot of hype, and this young man has lived up to it. And I know they are incredibly excited in Tigerland about him.
Change up in there for a strike count, 2-1 to Curiel. LSU out to a 7-1 start to the year, coming off their second run rule victory of the season, defeating Nichols on Monday, 13-3, back home at Alex Box Stadium. Count now 3 balls and a strike. When you talk about dominant starts, the Tigers have outscored the opposition 78-14 through the first 8 games of the year. And Curiel is on with a leadoff walk.
Tell you what, got a philosophy of being a disciplined hitter. Your lineup's disciplined. The leadoff guy goes up there, doesn't chase after he gets the 2-0 changeup first strike, doesn't chase the 2-1 changeup. Patient, now he finds himself on first base, leading off their offense.
Big hole on the right side of the infield as the Patriots have the shift on here against Jared Jones. Huge power numbers for Jones. A year ago, 28 homers for the Tigers, fourth most in a single season in team history. Has already homered twice this season. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jared Jones.
You know, both these teams have run often beginning of the season. Each run them 10, 11, 12 stolen bases and attempts. So they will and they can run.
Big miss that time for Borberg. Now to run the count to 2-1. Jones has started the year 10 for 25 at the plate for the Tigers.
So far, Borberg's had a little bit more command with his changeup. Now he finds himself in a rough, tough count to Jones. Be anxious to see if he comes back to the secondary.
Swung on fly ball to right. That's drifting out of play. That'll fill the count to 3-2.
And it goes to a 3-1 sinker away, which is he's been able to get his fastball extension side the one time he has gone, or now the second time for a strike. He's gone to extension side, meaning he's gone to the first base side of home plate. We'll see if he tries to go back out there again, and does LSU start the runner up.
Swung on, driven towards the gap at left center field, and that is down for a base hit for Jones. Curiel is going to round third, coming to the plate, and the throw not in time. 1-0 LSU as Jared Jones puts the Tigers on top.
And a couple things happen. I mean, you get a chance to see Jones and the type of power he has. Does a great job on the elevated fastball, getting to the top of it, Brant, driving it into the gap. We already know what kind of power he has, but then we get a chance to see Curiel on what just kind of speed he has, scoring all the way from first base on what was a clean relay by DBU as well. But when you get into those bad counts and you start working behind against this LSU team, they can make you pay for it.
Already the 20th double of the year for LSU. Now Ashton Larson, the Tigers DH, takes a pitch on the outer half for a strike. Bunt is put down by Larson. That dribbles foul. Count runs to 0-2. This again one of the top offenses in the nation. For the first couple of weeks, the Tigers 13th nationally in runs scored. That run from Curiel, they're 79th through 8+ games.
How about showing a little versatility here in the first inning too? All right, we get a walk, we get a double, an RBI double with some power. And then the 3-hole hitter comes up with a runner on second and shows you that he'll drag bunt as well. Showing you the offensive versatility that the Tigers have.
The 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Larson, the sophomore out of Overland Park, Kansas. A year ago was named to the SEC's all-freshman team. Hit .298, really good against SEC pitching. Hit .337 in conference games last year. Swing and a miss. Borberg strikes him out on a pitch hit on the hands, and that's the first out of the inning.
Well, he does. He goes to an 86-mile-an-hour cutter, but acted more to me like a slider. Had a little bit more depth. We're going to get another look at it. Yeah, that's got a little bit more depth. Started on that end line to the left-handed hitter, and it just keeps ducking away from him. It's a good pitch and a big-time pitch for him right now. Maybe start to settle in.
And now the first-year transfer from Utah Valley, Daniel Dickinson. Already 12 RBI through his first 8 games as a Tiger. And ahead against Borberg, a ball and no strikes. Dickinson rated as the second best college transfer in the nation by Baseball America.
Well, we've had one of the top high school players. Now we got one of the top transfers. We've had a Golden Spikes, you know, nominee already come through the lineup. Tells you a lot about this team and their stats with it.
Off the plate, 2 balls and a strike here to Dickinson. Just huge numbers for him at Utah Valley out of the WAC. A career .369 hitter in 2 seasons as a Wolverine. 27 homers and 95 driven in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the changeup there from Borberg. On the ground of the shortstop, Hefner. Long throw. Hard line to Kraus for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, Brent, you described that right. I mean, he was shifted over. Ball was off the end of the bat. Hefner had to range over to his right, was still able to get in front of it, square up to it, does a great job with his feet after he fields it, getting in a position to make a really long throw back across from a deep 6-hole position.
So after the first 2 Tigers reached, Borberg has struck out Larson and gotten Dickinson to ground out. That'll bring up Stephen Milam, the Tigers shortstop out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. A swing and a miss by the sophomore runs the count to 0-1. First team freshman All-American last year for the Tigers, hitting .326. 8 homers, drove in 40 in his debut campaign at LSU. On the ground to the right side, backhanded by Kraus. He'll go to the bag himself to end the inning. But the Tigers have struck first. Jared Jones, an RBI double, driving in Derek Curiel. And it's 1-0 Tigers with the Patriots coming up to bat.
Possibility. At Shriners Children's, we deliver healing to kids with critical burn injuries, like game-changing advances in regenerative medicine and creating the highest standard of care. We never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs, proving time and again what's possible by empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Possible Missions and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking by sharing the same values both in the office and out in the community. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry. Because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, by being a true community partner. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
Now look at the batting order for Dallas Baptist, presented by Amegy Bank. Leading off for the Patriots, Nathan Humphries, then Michael DiTallo and Tom Poole. Middle third for DBU, Grant J, Chayton Kraus, and Joey Nerritz. Bottom third for Dallas Baptist, Jake Bennett, Mason Swinney, and Luke Hefner. 1 through 9 tonight for the Patriots, the home team of this game this evening. And the pitcher they're facing is Connor Ware for LSU, a first-year transfer out of Pearl River Community College. Impressive JUCO numbers a year ago for Ware, 1.80 ERA. Made his Tiger debut last week in Southern, 3 scoreless innings, and struck out a pair.
Retired 9 out of the 10, but you're going to get a good look at this tall left-hander. It's going to be 93 to 94. Maybe touch some 95s with a really plus changeup.
Nathan Humphries, leadoff man here for Dallas Baptist, takes a ball inside. Two balls and no strikes here to Nathan Humphries, the senior out of Midlothian, Texas. And he's opened the season on a 7-game hitting streak, batting .400 to start the year. A lot of speed at the top of the order. And ahead here against Ware, 3-0.
Yeah, both pitchers a little amped up. I mean, every once in a while you got to take a deep breath, slow your heart rate down a little bit, refocus on the mitt.
That gave me over strike 3-1.
And let muscle motor memory take over. I mean, every once in a while you just got to relax and exhale. In competition, you can almost get too amped up.
Swing and a miss on the fastball, fills the count 3-2. These Patriots 6-1 to start the year, coming off a sweep of SIU Edwardsville over the weekend. In Dallas, swing and a miss. So how about that for Ware? Falls behind 3-0 and comes back with a strikeout.
Boy, he does, Brant. He elevates 2 fastballs back-to-back right at the top of the strike zone. Wasn't able to get up to it and foul it off.
The Tigers defense, Curiel, Stanfield, Brown in the outfield, Braswell, Milam, Dickinson, Jones in the infield for LSU, and the catcher, Luis Hernandez. Now Michael Detallo takes a strike, hitting second of the order tonight for the Patriots, a junior out of nearby Keller, Texas. A second-year transfer to the program from Northwestern State. On the ground of the shortstop, Milam. And that's the second out of the inning.
I'll tell you what, Milam just made that play look like he had taken 100,000 of them in his lifetime, and that's why he's playing shortstop at LSU. It looked really easy for him. It's over, fields it, his feet set up, makes a nice throw, comfortable throw to first base.
2 up, 2 down for Ware. That'll bring up Tom Poole for the Patriots, the senior out of Alberta, Canada. Already 12 hits to start the year. And Ware starts him off with a fastball for a strike. Poole has come around to score 15 times already through 7 games. He leads the country in runs scored, as the count evens at a ball and a strike.
So far, it's been a steady dose of fastballs from Ware.
That ball smacked foul to count 1-2.
Yeah, first changeup of the game. You know, used to back in the day, you would hear some pitching coaches say, man, don't throw left on left changeup. That left changeup runs back into their nitro zone down and in, but not anymore. These guys have been able to execute and learn how to throw it on the third base side of home plate as well, and it's just too good a pitch not to be able to use if you are good enough at throwing it, and it's a plus pitch for you.
A lot of baseball that runs through the family for Connor Ware. His brother Bryson also played in the SEC at Auburn, and now playing in the Phillies organization. That's behind Poole. And the count fills at 3-2.
I'm sure his brother's plugged in watching tonight too. And spring training, they're probably done for the day and having dinner and getting ready for the next day. Check out his brother.
Full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Ware. Able to get through the Patriots' top part of the order, in order with a couple of strikeouts. The head of the second, LSU batting for the second time and leading 1-0.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right all backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Elevate your ballpark experience with a tour of Globe Life Field and experience the home of the Texas Rangers like never before. Go behind the scenes and explore premium spaces, unique club settings, luxury suites, and more. Along the way, you'll discover rich history, impressive architecture, and fun photo opportunities around every corner. Globe Life Field's many tour offerings are sure to take your ballpark visit to the next level. For more information and to book your experience, visit globelifefield.com.
1-0 Tigers on top as we go to the top of the second inning. Now time to visit with Dallas Baptist head coach Dan Heefner. A coach's interview presented by Amegy Bank. Coach, have to ask, 18 seasons now all at Dallas Baptist. What has it taken to turn this program into a consistent winner?
It's just plugging away every single day. And obviously it starts with good players. I mean, it's good players, good coaches, and we've been blessed with some incredible people through the years. And I'd say that's probably the number one thing.
You know what, Coach, that's just two questions, but I'm going to say this first. I mean, the number of regionals you guys have been in, and I can go back in my mind, remember when you guys were Division II, and that path to get where you guys are today, I mean, that is truly unbelievable. That's a short time to get to where you guys are success today.
Yeah, I think if you look back to, like you said, those Division II days and NAIA days, like always a baseball powerhouse. Like there's DBU, just a great baseball tradition, and that's been passed down year to year. But yeah, you know, pretty neat just from a
nice catch to the wall made by Tom Poole. How about that, Coach?
I like that one. But yeah, just really proud of our guys. Like, you know, that transition, being independent in the beginning, and just, you know, continually building, and what the guys have done through the years has been fun.
You know, not everybody understands how many hours are put into coaching. You get an opportunity to coach your sons. Now, tell me how, because we put in, as coaches, you put in a lot of hours with everybody else's kids. Tell me how special that is and how much fun that's been for you.
Yeah, it's been really cool. And, you know, I talked to a lot of coaches before we did that, before we, you know, wanted to know if it was going to be a good idea. And that was one of the things that one of the coach, actually Rich Price, told me that, you know, longtime Kansas coach. He's like, you've missed your kids playing a ton growing up because you're always coaching and gone. And this is an opportunity where you're going to get to see him every day and kind of make up for some of the time you missed. And he's definitely been right.
Coach, second time over the last week, we had a chance to play in this ballpark. How much does the program enjoy getting to play Globe Life Field?
I think this is, you know, they're going to be pretty fired up about this, to be able to play in a big league ballpark. And like you said, to do it twice in 1 week is pretty special. So, yeah, they're definitely excited. And then to get to play against another great program, like this is what we love to do. We love to challenge ourselves, and no better place to do it than here.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Back again, Dallas Baptist head coach Dan Heefner, who has won Conference USA Coach of the Year honors in each of the past 2 seasons. The 1-2 to Brown. Hard shot down the line and right. That's a fair ball. Got by Chaden Krause. Bangs off the railing, and Brown winds up at second with a 1-out double.
Now Brown gets a changeup. It stays. It looked like it's going to stay middle in. Gets out front just a little bit, but pulls it. It looked like he was going to have an opportunity to come up, but it's going to be a tough play on an in-between hop at first base for Krause, and all the way to second base. A non-scoring position for the Tigers.
Already the second double tonight for LSU. Now Michael Braswell for the Tigers. Second who transferred from South Carolina. Takes a first pitch out of the zone for ball 1. Braswell coming off a phenomenal postseason for the Tigers in both the Chapel Hill Regional and the SEC tournament. 2 balls and no strikes.
We'll get a chance to talk later today during this game about both coaches and how much respect they have for each other and how much they watch each other's programs. And and take information from you. You heard Coach Johnson talk about, he took Coach Hefner's philosophy about doubles and, doubles and walks and doubles. That's, that's DBU's philosophy and how he likes it. And now you've seen it already, a walk and 2 doubles. And I mean, that's LSU's philosophy, and one of which I've heard, Coach Hefner talk over and over about in his career.
3 balls, 1 strike to Braswell. Chris Stanfield waiting on deck. On the ground, sharp shot right back to Borberg, throws to third, and the tag applied by Natalo to get out the lead runner. Heads-up play made by Ron Borberg.
Oh, it sure was, Brand. That ball was hit right back to him off the end of the bat. He feels it immediately. You can hear the infielders behind him hollering, runner, runner, runner. And he gets spun. We're going to get another look. He gets spun around. He knew immediately where he was. Makes a nice throw to the third baseman for an easy tag. A little bit of a base running mistake possibly by the Tigers right there.
And now LSU's 9-hole hitter, Chris Stanfield.
You always want to make sure that ball gets through the middle. It's one of the toughest ones, particularly when it's a high hop. As a runner, you feel like, man, that's going to get over his head. I got a chance to get to third. But it didn't get over the top of him.
Here's a pop-up into right field. Narrett coming in. And he has it for the third and final out. Borberg able to work around the 1-out double. As we head to the bottom of the second, Tigers on top of the Patriots, 1-0 from Globe Life Field.
First, at Shriners Children's, the world's most advanced scoliosis procedures are born here. In fact, we deliver access to the world's best doctors for nearly every pediatric orthopedic condition. Where delivering care without compromise is our promise. And kids can just be kids. Because being first always starts with empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
There's an old saying, everything's bigger in Texas. Well, let's just say, IndyCar is about to go to a whole nother level. Get ready, Arlington. This is where history is made, and champions are born.
And welcome back to Arlington. 1-0 LSU on top as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Talking more about this Tigers program. 7 College World Series titles, second most in the history of the game. They've won the SEC 17 times over. 14 50-win seasons, most in the history of the Southeastern Conference. And how about that tie, an all-time winning percentage in the NCAA tournament of .705.
One of the more historic programs in college baseball. Has been, go back to the 80s, and this is fortunate for me. I was a part of that as a player when LSU arrived with Coach Berkman, and when they started changing LSU baseball, and it became so important. And then, at the University of Texas, we had gone to Omaha so many times and had a chance to see this. I mean, it's an historic program.
Leadoff batter for the Patriots, Grant Jay, has quite the resume. The reigning Conference USA Player of the Year, top 3 in program history in homers and slugging percentage. And how about his weekend last weekend, as he was named Conference USA Hitter of the Week, 7 for 14, 3 homers for Jay.
Well, Dan Hefner says, hey, that guy can really hit. He's taken in a lot of great hitters that he's worked with. But you know from when coaches say things a little bit differently, when they start talking about individuals, and they use that kind of terminology to describe a player and a hitter, that represents a lot.
The preseason Conference USA Player of the Year, Grant Jay. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Brant Ware's been able to take that fastball, that four-seamer, let it ride at the top of the strike zone, and so far DBU hasn't been able to get to the middle or the top of it. She tries to go back up there again.
It's Jay, Krause, and Narrett for the Patriots here in the second. Ware a couple of strikeouts back in the first inning. That's his third strikeout of the game. Jay goes down looking and one away here in the second.
Well, this time he doesn't go to an elevated fastball. He goes fastball away. Again, another four-seamer. We're going to get another look at it. Just on the outer half of the plate. 88, 89 miles an hour as we get a look at the strike box, which keeps everybody honest. The umpires, the hitter, everybody, right?
Now it's Jaden Krause here for Dallas Baptist, senior from Coppell, Texas. Out to a 9 for 26 start to the year. Can do it with his bat, is also excellent with his glove. One of the top defensive first basemen in the country. Interesting story. Again, Krause, his hometown is Coppell, Texas, but he was born in New Zealand and was selected to play for his home country in the 2022 World Baseball Classic.
I love it. That's awesome.
2-2.
I'm going to tell you what, you're going to see several players in the DBU area, program that are from the DFW area. The baseball, the high school baseball, and select baseball in the DFW area truly has a championship feel to it.
Nice stab by Dickinson. Gets up and throws and makes a play for the outs.
Well, how about that? Good swing. Drops the ball back up the middle. Dickinson lays completely out. Calmly, routinely gets to his feet. Makes a great throw to first base.
Talk more about Dallas Baptist, where the players come from. 21 Dan Hefner's players hailing from the Lone Star State.
Yeah, and again, he's in a recruiting hotbed. He really is. I mean, I've recruited this area as a coach and know the high school coaches and how strong they are. The junior college programs in the DFW area as well. And it's just, there's a lot of great baseball talent in this DFW area. And they do a great job of recruiting it.
2 balls, no strikes to Narrett. It's been 5 up, 5 down so far for Connor Ware. And again, moments ago, just phenomenal defense by Dickinson at second base. On the best hit ball of the night by the Patriots. Swing and a miss by Narrett. It's 2-1.
So he made it like he just does it every day. I mean, it was just he had to dive back too. Got up, made a nice throw.
Narrett skies the ball to center. Stanfield long run to the warning track, makes the catch just shy of the wall. Narrett gave it a ride, but the park holds it. And that's it for the second inning. We go to the third. 1-0 LSU on top.
Bowman Engineering and Consulting and their dedicated Amegy business banker worked together to put the us in business banking, which included the occasional lunch meeting. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry, because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, planning sessions whenever you need them. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
Arlington, the Renegades are going full throttle this spring when the UFL returns.
What a catch!
Get ready for more action-packed football and unforgettable experiences at Choctaw Stadium.
That is something special right there.
Renegades, mount up and get your tickets today.
At the top of the broadcast, we mentioned that these are two of the most consistent winners in college baseball, LSU and Dallas Baptist. You look at DBU's history, their first year as a Division I program a little more than 20 years ago. 9-time conference champions. How about this? 13 regionals, over the past 16 seasons to include 10 straight for the Patriots.
You know, college baseball is a big boy game too, right? You got to have resources, you got to have facilities, you got to have interest, you got to want to have a great program to compete against everybody that is, you know, really good. And DBU is committed to their baseball. They have been for such a long time. I'll be back to Coach Hart was there. I mean, it's been a long time, and they've carried that tradition on. And let me tell you what, you go look at the facilities they have, and obviously the coaching staff, and then the players, and it is a tremendous baseball program.
Derek Curiel leads off the third for LSU. Borberg facing the lineup a second time through now. Curiel walked and scored on the double by Jones back in the first inning. Ty, you and I were here at Globe Life Field a couple of weeks ago for the Shriners Children's College Showdown. Saw some of the teams out of the SEC then, LSU out of the SEC here. And one of the common trends is the way these teams draw. Big showing tonight by LSU fans.
Well.
Fly ball out towards left, and coming in is Poole. He has it for the first out. Well, let me just say this. I mean, you're right. In the SEC, everybody has great crowds, but when it comes to LSU, they could be having a dominoes contest, and thousands of people are going to show up. That's just, they support everything about that university, particularly the athletic programs, and certainly this baseball program. Big showing tonight by Tiger fans in Arlington as Jared Jones comes up, doubled in the Tigers run of the first inning. Of course, Tigers call historic Alex Box Stadium home, and LSU has led the nation in attendance 25 times in its program's history. You think about the way they fill out that stadium too, Ty, a stadium that seats more than 10,000. Yeah, and you know, I had a chance to coach in the old stadium when I was a young, snotty-nosed coach at Arkansas State, just getting really going, and it was so much fun to be a part of it and be there. And then I went back again as the head coach at Texas State, and we went and played a 3-game set. And the environment when you get off the bus, you pull in there's people everywhere, you know, tailgating, having fun. I mean, and they were so unbelievably nice to you when you got there, and it's. That's a strikeout for Borberg. It's Jones swinging. Second strikeout tonight, and now 2 outs in the third. Yeah, he acted like he almost fouled that ball off, but obviously not. But look, go back to that. When you pull into the stadium, it's just unbelievable, the experience. And it's got this unique smell to it with all the food that's being cooked and everything. I mean, it is just, yeah, it's one of a kind for sure. Nobody on, 2 away for Ashton Larson. Big shift here for the Patriots. The third baseman Detallo on an island there on the left side of the infield. And the second baseman Swinney playing in shallow right. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to Larson. I'll tell you, Borberg, he likes his changeup, and it's got good action to it. It's got good arm speed, hand speed on it. Don't see anything in his delivery that tips it off. And he knows, and his pitching coach knows, that if he misses with it once, he's got the confidence to come back to it again. You've got to be able to double up. You can't just, you know, throw a certain pitch, miss with it, and then automatically go back to your fastball or something different. You got to be able to double it up, or those hitters will fall into that pattern thinking we you too. Full count now to Larson. Larson, a 20th round pick of the Twins coming out of high school. Full count pitch. In the air to left field. Tom Poole going back short of the warning track. He'll track it down. And Borberg has retired 5 in a row. Curiel, Jones, Larson retired in order by Borberg, who head to the bottom of the third. Tigers leading 1-0 over DBU.
Resilience. At Shriners Children's, we're leaders in pediatric sports medicine. With expertise in sprains, tears, fractures, and other sports-related injuries. We're here to deliver the best care in the business and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. Because every great comeback starts with a game plan for empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Naylor Industries and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking, focusing on their business needs with lightning speed. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry. Because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, a banking partner who is just as invested in your growth as you are. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
1-0 LSU on top as we go to the bottom of the third inning. We're now joined by Tigers head coach Jay Johnson. Our coach's interview presented by Amegy Bank. Coach, 2 innings in for Connor Ware, 3 strikeouts, 6 up, 6 down. What do you make of his start so far?
He looks good. He got behind in the count a couple times, was able to rally back and fill up the zone. He's a good pitcher. He's one of our best.
Coach, I got to ask, early in the year, you guys obviously more traditional ballparks and Alex Box Stadium and the crowd and everything that goes with it, and you could stay home and play, and and find somebody to come there and play, but you choose to come here and play in this big league park, and then again this weekend at another tournament. Tell us your mindset with that and going on the road.
Yeah, there's a few reasons behind it. The SEC, the gauntlet that our league has become, you have to play teams like DBU to get your team prepared for that. Secondly, all the players that come to LSU want to play in the major league, so why not get them in a big league stadium like this? And then, yeah, just recruiting. There's a lot of great ball players in Texas, so we want to get some of them. We have a lot of them on our team, actually.
Coach, a couple of years removed from your national championship run, what do you recall about that run back in 2023?
Yeah, special team. Sorry, I'm on the play here. Special team, and, the calling card for those guys was just character. I mean, phenomenal talent. Paul Skeens, best pitcher on the planet. Dylan Cruz, one of the best players of all time in college baseball, but they were better people than they were players. Cade Beloso, Gavin Dugas, Ty Floyd. I mean, I just go on and on.
Coach, thanks so much, and good luck the rest of the night.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
That again, LSU head coach Jay Johnson joining us with his Tigers on top 1-0. Connor Ware, 7 up, 7 down so far to start the game. A swing and a miss by Mason Swinney, batting second here in the third inning for Dallas Baptist.
I love it. The ball's in play, and he goes, "I'm going to play right now." As he's trying to talk and give an explanation, that's coaching. He is locked in and locked into every pitch.
2 of the names you mentioned synonymous with LSU success back in 2023, Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz. Those 2 became the first school in NCAA history to have their players go first and second overall in the big league draft. In the case of Skeens, he exploded onto the big league scene a year ago, starting the Major League Baseball All-Star game here in Arlington. And Skeens and Cruz were 2 of 13 picks that year for LSU, an SEC record. Two. Popped up into shallow rights. Jake Brown is there. 2 outs here in the third.
you know, going to Skeens, I had a chance to watch him throw when he was at Air Force. And I was doing radio for UT, and I had a chance to watch him in the regionals and non-conference as well when it came through. And he was catching and DHing. He didn't pitch it. Now, in the regional, he came back and pitched. We get a look at him now in the big leagues, and you could just, I mean, he was 95 to 98 that day in the regional, and, you know, with a good breaker. But I'll tell you, and then it was off to LSU, and obviously it speaks for itself, a national champion, right? And now he's pitching in the big leagues, and I watch his stuff. I love watching his stuff on TV. You watch the last 4 or 5 feet of his fastball. That's ridiculous at times what it does.
The Tigers won 54 games that year in 2023. And for Jay Johnson, up to 460 wins total in his career, including his time at Arizona and Nevada. And in his time in Baton Rouge, 137 wins over the last 3 seasons, the 3rd most in college baseball.
I mean, look, I was going through this, 87 big leaguers out of this program. 87 major league, big leaguers, not just professional players, big leaguers out of this program.
You look at some of the history of Tigers in the big leagues. Albert Bell played at LSU in the mid-90s. DJ LeMahieu played for the Tigers in the 2000s. And of course, just talked about Paul Skeens and his incredible year at LSU in 2023. And now a star for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Nice pitch there from Ware. The slider right over the heart of the plate. That's his 4th strikeout tonight. Connor Ware through 3 innings is perfect with 4 Ks. 3 innings in the books. 1-0 LSU over Dallas Baptist.
Protecting what matters most is the mission that matters most. At Lockheed Martin, we know today's threats come from behind, above, and below, and we make sure those who serve stay ahead of them by connecting platforms necessary to dominate every domain across air, land, sea, space, and cyber, using technologies that protect in the same moment they detect. The mission is a safer, more secure world. Our promise is to help make it happen.
Sometimes you just need a little wonderful in your life. So why not go to a place made for it? Arlington, Texas. It's a city made for fun and excitement and all the things you love to do. And even some things you didn't know you loved until you came here and found them. Come see for yourself why Arlington is a world of wonderful.
Everything you thought you knew is brand new. We on a new wave. This ain't what it was. See, when the game changes, so do we. Every day, every play. Always been greater than 12, now standing 16 strong. In every end zone, any time zone. When everyone else keeps asking, what's next? We know, we are.
All 3 weekends of college baseball here at Globe Life Field benefit Shriners Children's with a portion of ticket sales going to a worthy cause that is dedicated to improving the lives of children around the world. To donate, scan the QR code on your screen or visit globelifefield.com/collegebaseball. Back out at Globe Life Field. A little horse race in between the action here as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Tigers on top 1-0. Daniel Dickinson, the leadoff batter here for LSU. Count 1 ball, 1 strike.
I bet you there's several local restaurant bars in Baton Rouge or in the state of Louisiana that are tuned in to tonight's game. I guarantee it.
One of the more passionate fan bases in college baseball. Now the Tigers' trip to Texas does not end here. They are in Frisco this weekend for a tournament at the Frisco College Classic. So staying in the greater DFW area, they'll play Kansas State, Nebraska, and Sam Houston this weekend. Full count to Dickinson. That ball shot to left field and a base hit. Leadoff man is off for the Tigers for the second time tonight.
A two-seamer running into him. Going to get another glance at it. Yes, sir. A little two-seamer running back in from the middle in. Does a good job of getting the barrel inside of it. Hits that ball hard to left field.
Third hit of the night for the Tigers. That'll bring up LSU shortstop Stephen Milam. Milam coming off a 5 RBI game against Nichols in the win back in Baton Rouge on Monday. Early count of 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, so far, Brant, Warburg has done a pretty decent job of holding the runners at first. His timing to the plate's been pretty good. Aware of LSU's ability to run. And when you've got a team that can run and already has run, you got to make sure that when you're on the mound, you're not using the same looks. You don't come set and use the same timing, go to the plate. You also need to be, somewhere in that 1-3-5 from when you start to home plate to the catcher's mitt. And a pretty good move too on top of it. A good job of getting his feet turned, the ball out of his glove, and makes it a good throw. So far he's been able to hold the Tigers' run game down. That was the first look at maybe they were thinking about possibly trying to run.
3 balls and no strikes to Milam.
And can be a distraction for the pitcher. It can get you out of your route. I mean, look, they all love to get that leg kick up and, get up on top of the baseball and drive it downhill. But then when you get runners on there, a shorter leg kick, and it can become a little bit of a distraction for you, get you out of your rhythm.
A 3-1 for Borberg. In the air, right field. Joey Narrett in position, and he's there for the first out.
Sounded like and looked like the ball got on him. It wasn't quite. Milam not quite enough get that barrel extended. Sounded like he pressed that ball on him, fastball in on him just enough to slow his barrel down.
Now Luis Hernandez hit a deep fly to left in his first at-bat. A great catch made by Tom Poole at the wall, potentially robbing him of a home run. Batting here with 1 out in the 4th inning. Hernandez, a senior from Puerto Rico, a first-year transfer from Indiana State. How about the quality of players from Indiana State from a year ago now on Power 4 rosters?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like every game that we've done this year, 2 weekends ago, and I've done a handful of other games, right? They've had transfers on there, but obviously they had a great year a year ago as well. Saul Spencer's, I've seen him throw a couple times too, the left-handed pitcher, and now you're starting to see why they did have such a good year.
No balls, 2 strikes to Hernandez. He was a .359 hitter last year at Indiana State, and ranked by D1Baseball.com as the 10th best catcher in the country. On the ground towards third. That's in play. Played a second for one. Back to first, not in time. The Patriots settle for the one out. That'll erase Dickinson, and now 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, ball hit down the line just enough that it wasn't going to work its way into a double play. Dottolo makes a great job, does a good job of getting way over to the line and making a strong feed to second, but to where the ball was hit, just the play took too long to develop for them to turn it into a double play.
Jake Brown doubled his first at-bat, batting for the second time against Borberg. Change up the misses low and in for ball one. Sophomore out of Sulphur, Louisiana. That ball's going to drop in for a base hit, his second tonight. Hernandez turns from second base on his way to third. Runners in the corners here for LSU with 2 out.
Yeah, nice job. Base hit back up the middle. I'll tell you what, I thought Hernandez did a really good job recognizing early that the ball was going to stay in front of the center fielder and he was going to have to come a pretty good ways to come get it, and allowed him to go from first to third on the base hit.
2 on, 2 out for Michael Braswell. Hit into a fielder's choice back into second. And the bat stays on his shoulder on the first pitch from Borberg. A miss on the cutter. A ball to no strikes.
You know, if you're Borberg, you got to keep reminding yourself you're 1 pitch away from possibly getting out of this first and third opportunity for LSU.
Couple of years for Braswell in South Carolina. Made his second year at LSU. 166 career hits in his 3+ seasons now in the SEC. Swing and a miss ahead of the changeup. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
I mean, that's a lot of SEC at bats. I mean, in all honesty, 2 good programs, a lot of quality at bats.
The 1-2. Runner takes off for second, and now Hernandez coming home, and he is tagged out. Great play there by Dallas Baptist.
Well, I think he was called out at home plate. I'm not sure what happened, if he called interference, but got a third out, and we'll get a chance to look at it.
1-0 Tigers on top as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning.
At Shriners Children's, we're home to the world's leading pediatric orthopedic care. Because so many life-changing advancements start here. We provide access to the best doctors and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. We're the first place to turn for the most common or complex orthopedic conditions. Home to possibility and empowering kids to achieve the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Record-breaking global superstar, Shakira. Live in Arlington. Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran World Tour. Globe Life Field, June 11th. The phenomenal new album Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran is available everywhere now. Get tickets now at Shakira.com.
Yeah, winning a policy. Thank God for $1, it's a prophecy. Love the pressure, I am a prodigy. Everybody inside of the stadium tell me they proud of me. Shot in public, training privately. Homer, straight to the balcony. Building muscle, I never can bother me. Texas Rangers together, we by the team. Go man, this is the dog in me. Still a game on the road, it's a robbery. Stand on base, going strong, no apology. Corey Seager might give it to Raw. Like I see it, descending my arm.
The M&T Bank College Baseball Series presented by Kubota is bringing the heat to Globe Life Field this week in February 28th through March 2nd. 4 lead programs, Oregon State, Auburn, Baylor, and Ohio State, are set to battle it out in an epic early season clash. Can't make it to the ballpark, catch every pitch, every play, and every clutch moment live on Flow College. So the inning ended with a double steal attempt by LSU, but it was Michael Braswell who struck out for the third and final out of the inning. And that's now 3 strikeouts in the game for Ryan Borberg as the Tigers strand 2 at the top of the 4th. They're still leading 1-0.
Well, so far you've seen 2 different offensive plays from LSU's offense. You've seen a drag bunt in the first inning with a runner on second after an RBI double. Now you've seen a first and third double steal attempt. Again, I think it starts to tell a story about their versatility and what they want to do as an offense. That they're not just going to sit there and hit doubles and homers. They're going to also be able to create offense.
Nathan Humphreys leading off here in the 4th for Connor, facing Connor Ware. His second time through the order now. Foul back for strike 2.
Well, you've seen DBU swing at some balls up in the strike zone. Some of them are high strikes, some of them just out of it, but it tells you a lot about Connor Ware's four-seamer and how it's got great ride to it, a lot of life to the last 4 or 5 feet of the fastball, that they see it and they just can't get the barrel to it.
Here's a changeup. Heart of the strike zone for strike 3. Humphreys down on strikes for a second time. That's now 5 punch outs for Ware.
After a steady dose of those fastballs, and again, here comes that left-on-left changeup, and he's able to go Brant Ware to the third base side of home plate with that changeup, a quality pitch.
Now Michael Detallo. A ball and no strikes. Detallo, the reigning Conference USA Newcomer of the Year after transferring from Northwestern States. Finished 8th in the conference in hitting a year ago. And out to a good start this season for the Patriots. He's reached base in all 7 games to start the 2025 year. 2 ball, no strike count from Ware. In the air to right field, Jake Brown, long run at the warning track. He'll make the catch for the second out.
From the beginning, both pitchers command, their heart rates were up a little bit, maybe not as comfortable at the beginning of the game. They have settled in and been able to make some really good pitches, get in the strike zone. I'll tell you what, they've been impressive on both sides of the plate with all fastballs and secondaries.
Tom Poole, the batter now, ahead of ball and no strikes. Struck out against Ware back in the first. Big offensive numbers for Tom Poole a year ago. Slugged better than 700. Ranked 3rd in Conference USA. Also led the conference in on-base percentage at .488. Takes a strike at the fastball, runs the count to 1-2.
I think Ware's been comfortable at that 89-90 tonight. We've heard and seen him up to 93, 94, but it's been a comfortable velocity for him.
That time missed with a slider. The 2-2. And Poole goes around, strikes out for a second time. 2 more strikeouts in the inning for Connor Ware. He's perfect through 4. As we head to the 5th, Tigers on top. 1-0 here from Globe Life Field.
Resilience. At Shriners Children's, we're leaders in pediatric sports medicine. With expertise in sprains, tears, fractures, and other sports-related injuries, we're here to deliver the best care in the business and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. Because every great comeback starts with a game plan for empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Naylor Industries and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking, focusing on their business needs with lightning speed. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry. Because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, a banking partner who is just as invested in your growth as you are. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
LSU on top 1-0 as we head to the top of the fifth inning. Again, a couple of years removed from a national championship run back in 2023. One of 7 national titles for one of the great programs in college baseball. It was LSU's first championship since 2009. They won 4 titles in the 90s, a couple in the 2000s, and then that one in 2023. The Tigers have been to the College World Series 19 times since 1987, the most in college baseball during that stretch. On the ground at third, Detallo with a long throw to Kraus for the first out of the inning.
I'll tell you what, Detallo makes a good play here. He's got to take a drop step, get back behind the ball. The ball was hit with some top spin to his left. Does a good job settling behind it, makes an accurate throw. But, you know, I go back to that. We're talking about LSU and the number of trips to Omaha and you know, 7 titles. And, I mean, there's so many goals. But also what's incredibly impressive for me, you know, Coach Johnson and his, you know, I mean, his doing it so early in his career as a head coach. I mean, that's just, it's not easy to do.
The only program with more national championships in the history of the game, USC. As you look at Liam Watt out of the bullpen here for the Patriots. The junior lefty from Ontario, Canada. As a first-year transfer from one of the great JUCO programs in the country, LSU Eunice. Helped lead that program to Division II World Series title this past year.
Well, LSU Eunice has won a bunch of titles in Division II junior college baseball. They've owned that division for a really long time.
So Ryan Borberg, the starter for Dallas Baptist, goes 4 innings, gives up a single run on 4 hits, strikes out 3. As Curiel bats for the second time for the Tigers. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Shot foul for strike 2.
Now, so far, Watt, as soon as he put his spikes out there on that dirt, has done nothing but fill the strike zone up. We'll see if he continues.
Slider that just missed.
That's a good-looking 2-strike slider. You don't want to throw anything in the middle. You're trying to get him to chase. Left-left matchup, right off the edge. A lot of young hitters would have swung at that 1-2 pitch, Brant. A lot of young hitters would, a lot of older hitters as well.
And Curiel is off for the second time with a free pass to first base.
Well, it didn't look like a freshman at bat to me, I'm going to tell you right now. Again, that slider just off the edge, and he took it, didn't offer at it, works his way from a behind count as a hitter, and earns a walk. Second one of the night.
That'll bring up Jared Jones. Had the RBI double back in the first inning, the only run of the game. Jones now out 2-11 for 27 start to the year. The first pitch in there for a changeup for a strike. Big swing and a miss. 0-2.
Good looking changeup. Slider early, comes back to a changeup away to Jones, executes it. It's back ahead in the count, 0-2.
Jared Jones, big numbers last year for the Tigers, was top 10 of the SEC in homers, walks. He was second, slugging, and total bases. One of the top hitters in the country. Behind of the count, 1-2. Up the middle, pass is shifted in for a base hit. Curiel around second, on his way to third, and he is safe.
Good piece of hitting. Right back up the box. I mean, right back up the middle. This ball came off his bat in a hurry. And Curiel does a really good job of hustling from first to third, even though it was going to be a tight play. That ball was smashed, hit pretty hard. The center fielder didn't have to come very far before he got his fingers on the ball. It shows the foot speed.
And out first and third, 1 out for Ashton Larson. Well, actually, the Tigers bring up a pinch hitter for Larson. The pinch hitter is Ethan Fry, the junior out of Rose Pine, Louisiana. Batting now for the Tigers. Changeup in there for a strike, 0-2.
Well, you know, you feel like you've got some weapons when you take your 3-hole hitter out off the left matchup and go to a pinch hitter early in the game. Well, in the 5th inning of a game in an RBI situation, it tells you the depth of this Tiger offense.
Jones takes off for second, and he's tagged out. Curiel will stay at third. That's good for the second out of the inning.
Well, that was the first and third steal, similar to what they tried to end the inning before. As you saw Jones hold up. We'll get a second look at it. This ball's a good pitch away. It's tough to handle, a strong throw, and he's going to hold up. That's to allow the runner from third to try to steal home on the double steal. He didn't go.
That's going to drop in for a base hit for Fry. Curiel scores for the second time tonight. Fry on his way to second base, and he's there with a double, and it's 2-0 LSU.
Well, they get the guy thrown out at second base. And they come right back with Fry, pinch hitter, comes up with a big-time hit, slider in. It's it out to left center. And I'm going to tell you what, Brent, he was motoring coming out of the box, trying to get to second base to get himself in the scoring position.
Good piece of 2-out hitting there by the Tigers. Now on top 2-zip as Dickinson comes up. Changeup in there for a strike.
Well, it looked like DBU was going to have some momentum on the steal and throw out at second base, and then 2 outs, and then Fry comes back up and delivers a big 2-out hit, as you mentioned.
The second 2-out base hit for LSU tonight. 0-2 pitch is in the dirt. It's 1-2. One-two pitch, fouled back. Tigers again out to a 7-1 start to the year. Lone blemish was a loss to Omaha this past weekend. Count evens 2-2.
I mean, no excuses what I'm about to say, but I didn't get to watch any of that game. I got to see maybe a little bit of highlight. The weather had to be just as cold there as it was here. I mean, it was, early in the weekend, Friday and Saturday, you know, even here in the great state of Texas was just cold. Now, not in here. It's 72 and sunny in here every day.
Full count from Watt. Down the line and left, and it shoots foul.
I'll tell you what, LSU's hitters so far, not every one of them, but a couple of them have been able to fight their way back out of negative counts, 0-2 counts, 1-2 counts, to get the count even, work some walks, some hits, and their strike zone recognition is what you start to think about, right? They work on it. They spend time on you when he talks about getting walks and what that looks like, and experienced hitters. And I'm not saying all of them have, but a handful of them tonight have been able to work their way back into counts.
A drive out to left field, and that is gone over the wall and left. Dickinson, a 2-out, 2-run homer, and it's 4-0 LSU.
Well, almost on cue, talking about working your way back into a count. Calmly, confidently, didn't chase, a couple of pitches, fouled off a couple, finally got one running back into him, got in behind it, hooked it down the line and got it just over to 334 down the line for a home run.
Tigers with their 8th home run of the season. Makes it 4-0. That'll lead to a pitching change here for Dallas Baptist. A 3-run 5th inning for the Tigers, all 3 runs scoring with 2 outs. And that'll be it for Liam Watt for Dallas Baptist. Patriots back to the bullpen. Dylan Haynes coming to the game now for DBU. And we'll step aside here in the top of the 5th inning. LSU on top 4-0. We're back after this on Flow College.
I don't feel right unless the odds against me. Back against the wall of my strength. Yeah. I can't let it break. Everything I've been through, it made I never hate, it just made me better. Been through everything, it just made me better. I can't waste the pain, it just made me better. To left field. Goodbye, home run.
There's an old saying, everything's bigger in Texas. Well, let's just say, IndyCar is about to go to a whole nother level.
Get ready, Arlington. This is where history is made and champions are born.
4-0 Tigers on top. A look at Daniel Dickinson, who moments ago Ty went deep, a 2-run homer just over the field, over the fence and left.
Look, LSU is showing you their versatility, their athleticism, different types of offense. We've seen 2 double steals. We've seen 3 doubles. And now we see Dickinson fight his way back into a count and land on a ball for a home run to left field. A lot of versatility.
New pitcher of the game, Dylan Haynes, here for the Patriots. Left-hander out of St. Augustine, Florida. Making his second appearance of the year, made 15 in relief for the Patriots a season ago. And will face Stephen Milam. You think about this way this inning has gone. If you recall, there was that stolen base attempt by Jared Jones, got caught between first and second base. You thought the Patriots were building momentum, but after that, Fry the pinch hit RBI double, and then Dickinson the 2-run homer.
A lot of different weapons. It starts to speak a little bit to the language of the depth of that lineup, meaning it's just not a top-heavy lineup. They've got a lot of different ways they can score throughout the lineup. You know, sometimes you get in, some teams are just, 1 through 5, and then occasionally the bottom half of the order is just okay. You got to manufacture, do different things like that, but they're showing you the depth of this lineup so far tonight.
Grounded towards third, charging into Talo, and he can't pick it. Milam's going to reach with a 2-out base hit.
Well, that ball was just hitting the right spot, rolled over the top of it. Great pitch by Haynes. First of all, he got him what he needed to do. Was a little ground ball, a little tapper. 3-4 feet to the right, back to the pitcher. It's an easy pick up and out, but it's not. That was going to be too tough a play, I think, for Ditalo to come in and make a play anyway.
3 straight 2-out hits for LSU. And now the 7th batter of the inning comes up, Luis Hernandez. We talked a lot of this broadcast about just how good this LSU program is and has been. Back in October, D1 Baseball named LSU as a #1 ranked program in the nation. As that ball gets away from Jay, and the throw gets into center field. Milam on his way to third base.
I'll tell you what, Milam did a great job of reading ball in dirt immediately. Ball didn't get that far away from the catcher, Jay. I mean, get another look at it. He's reading it, sees as soon as it went to dirt, took off. Jay makes a strong throw, but it was high. I'll tell you the other thing, Milam slid and looked like he was already running to third base before he got up.
Now 2-0 to Hernandez. It takes ball 3. That ranking was focused on the consistency of winning over the last decade and how each program projects to perform over the next 5 to 10 years. Again, LSU named the best. And of the top 10 teams in D1 Baseball's ranking, 7 of them programs out of the SEC.
A lot of strength in that conference and a lot of sports, and a lot of people talk about, football, because it is such a big sport and means so much to so many people around the world, but certainly around the country. But in baseball, the SEC, I mean, look, all the programs have been so successful. I mean, look at all the different national champions that are in the SEC.
Cale Johnson, the Dallas Baptist pitching coach, out to visit with Haynes. Johnson did his second year at DBU. Last year's staff recorded the 7th lowest ERA in the nation. Let's talk more about the SEC, and the team's currently ranked in the top 25. 6 of them rank within the top 7. How about that? A&M first, these Tigers second, followed by Tennessee third, Arkansas, who was here in Arlington over the weekend, 4th, Georgia 6th, Florida 7th, And the other 3 teams in the top 25, Vandy, Texas, and Mississippi State. Should note Texas A&M, though, lost last night, the midweek game at home against Texas State.
Yep, they did. I mean, Texas State went in there, played really well. An opportunity to sit at home and watch the game, and been around that Texas State program. It was a huge win for them. Coach Trout. That Aggie team's good too. Now they just lost Grahovac earlier in the week. He's going to, I heard he was going to possibly, if not for sure, be out for the rest of the season. It's a big loss for them. He's such a tremendous player. Had such a great freshman year last year for A&M, and they're, rushed to the opportunity to win a national title. And so you hate to see anybody get hurt, and certainly such a quality player and quality young man.
John Pearson, the pinch hitter here for the Tigers, pinch hitting for Jake Brown. And shoots one up the middle for a base hit. Milam's going to score. That will extend the Tiger lead to 5-0 on the pinch hit RBI single by John Pearson.
The lineup just keeps coming at you, Brant. They've used 2 pinch hitters tonight so far. Both have delivered. Ball's right in the middle of the plate. Tell you what, he didn't miss it either. That ball was scorched, but they've had just starts to take. So you start with 9, now you've used 2 more. I mean, it's just showing you that depth over and over, and their ability. Whether you put a left-hander out there, they can go to the right-handed hitter. If they put a right-hander out there, they can go to the left side. We're going to see a pitching change.
And that will be it for Dylan Haynes. With the Tigers playing add-on here in the 5th inning. The Patriots will again go to the bullpen here as Dan Heathner makes the mound visit. Final warm-up tosses for the Patriot reliever about to enter the game. 5-0 LSU on top of the 5th. A 4-run frame so far for the Tigers here in Arlington.
Record-breaking global superstar Shakira, live in Arlington. Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran World Tour, Globe Life Field, June 11th. The phenomenal new album Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran is available everywhere now. Get tickets now at Shakira.com.
A 4-run 5th inning so far for the Tigers, and the big hit, the 2-run, 2-out homer by Daniel Dickinson.
Well, again, we've already talked about it. Or maybe not enough, but it's some that they can come at you and do so many different things offensively with their power, with their speed, with their athleticism, with their discipline at the plate. And I'll tell you what, so far, particularly in this inning, they have been really good, had great at-bats. And again, it looked like there was a chance DBU was going to get out of the inning after the caught stealing at second base and then 2 outs. But what, 2 pitchers later now, and LSU has done some damage.
And now the 4th pitch of the game being used here by Dallas Baptist. Jared Jenkins in now for the Patriots. The junior righty out of Winchester, Virginia. 18 appearances a year ago for DBU, 6-0 with a 3.43 ERA. He'll face Michael Braswell. 2 on, 2 out, all 4 runs for the Tigers, scoring with 2 down of the inning. Pinch runner Mick Paul at first base now for the Tigers. Now the first pitch to Braswell was a miss in the fastball.
Yeah, it's a critical moment too for DBU, Brant. They've got to get this inning stopped. I mean, that LSU's got a ton of offensive energy right now, and you need to get it stopped. You don't want the game to get away from you here.
Patriots lost their midweek game here last week against UTRGV, a game that got away from them then. A 15-5 victory for the Vaqueros. Over the Patriots, Cat 2-1 to Braswell, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout.
Derek Matlock, an old assistant coach of mine at one time, now the head coach at UTRGV. Actually had a chance to have a brief text conversation with him, and even through the text you could hear how excited he was. I think they scored 9 late, like in the 9th. It was a lot, but either way, a big win for the Vaqueros.
The 2-2. Cap Phil, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Braswell, the 9th batter of the inning for LSU.
Runners are going to be off on the pitch. 3-2 count, 2 outs.
There they go. And the pitch out of the zone, ball 4. And the Tigers have now batted around. C.J. Johnson talking to Chris Stanfield, who comes up now for LSU. Started the inning with a ground out to third. After that, it was a walk to Curiel. Jared Jones, a base hit, then got caught stealing. After that, an offensive explosion for the Tigers. 4 2-out runs for LSU. Now the bases are loaded for Stanfield. In there for a strike of the fastball.
Now Jenkins showing you the kind of stuff he's got. It's a 92, 93 mile an hour fastball. A breaker and a change off of it. You see a little breaker right there, not a little breaker, 80 mile an hour curveball. Good down action to it.
Swing and a miss. Jenkins strikes him out. But what an inning for LSU. 4-run score, all with 2 outs, and now it's 5-0 Tigers over the Patriots from Globe Life Field. Leadoff man here for the Patriots in the 5th inning is Grant Jay, one of the top hitting catchers in the country, one of the top prospects for the next level. 71st ranked prospect in the country according to D1 Baseball. The preseason Conference USA Player of the Year. Top 3 in team history in homers and in slugging. His power number is off the charts.
They certainly speak for themselves, and Connor Ware just Don't let that ball get away from him, but sat over there for a long time in that half inning. It's at 57 pitches now. That's a long inning. As much as those pitchers love to see those runs scored, they get in a rhythm too. I mean, they certain amount of time in between. They like to get back out there. Now we're going to see a visit. LSU, yeah, I mean, look, that's just, they're going to go out there and talk to him and try to get him to refocus a little bit. And going back to what you were just talking about with Grant Jay and the numbers, again, it goes back to what Coach Hefner was talking about in the meetings about just how quality of a hitter he is, right? I mean, and just he doesn't have glaring weaknesses. In other words, it's just not all about power and hitting balls, everywhere. He has the ability to stay on breakers and secondaries, and so he is a quality hitter, quality catcher. You could see earlier too about how he's listed in Baseball America, and he's going to be a great player and has a chance to be Player of the Year for him.
All 3 weekends of college baseball here at Globe Life Field benefit Shriners Children's, with a portion of ticket sales going to a worthy cause that is dedicated to improving the lives of children around the world. To donate, scan the QR code on your screen or visit globelifefield.com/collegebaseball. Just saw a mound visit from Nate Yeskie, one of the great pitching coaches in the country. He had a second year at LSU. He's the only active assistant coach in the nation that's been at 3 World Series with 3 different programs.
Well, that tells you a little bit about his pedigree. Uh-oh.
There's a drive out to left field, and the Patriots are on the board. Grant Jay goes deep again. 4th home run of the season, and now it's 5-1.
Well, his head coach was describing him about the different power, the different ability to hit different types of pitches. A fastball in, tries to sneak it further in. He gets the barrel inside of it. And I mean, he lands on every piece of the leather on this baseball.
46 career home run now for Grant Jay. Only Duncan, McAlpine, and Austin Listy have more in team history. Got the first hit, base runner, run of the game for Dallas Baptist, and that'll be it for Connor Ware. LSU's going to the bullpen. Zach Cowan into the game now for LSU. Connor Ware, 4 strong innings, but leaves after giving up the homer to Grant Jay. 46 career home run for the Patriots, 4th this season. And we'll step aside. Patriots on the board. It's now 5-1 here in Arlington. After the homer from Grand J, that's it for Connor Ware, the LSU starter, who goes 4 innings and now hands the baseball off to Zach Cowan, a first-year transfer out of Wofford, making his second appearance of the season for the Tigers. A year ago, as a Wofford Terrier, was 10-2, and big strikeout numbers for him. In 110 innings, he punched out 124.
Anytime you got more strikeouts than innings pitched, it starts to tell you you've got a handful of weapons. Maybe not only just a good or a live fastball, but you're going to have a good secondary pitch off of it as well for that kind of strikeout numbers. We're going to get a chance to see it.
His first pitch, a slider out of the zone, faces Chayton Krause. Here in the 5th inning.
And you know what, Brant, Connor Ware was good tonight. I was impressed. Right? The fastball was heavy. He could elevate, make him swing miss. His changeup was good. Occasional breaker was good. I mean, again, you get a good look at that slider right there. I just think that the long sit over there with that 2-out rally with LSU, I think ultimately, you know, he got him a little bit out of rhythm early in the year like this. You're not quite used to it. Later on in the year, he will be. But I thought he was impressive tonight.
1-2 pitch to the dirt. Count evens here to Krause, 2-2.
I think they would have loved to have seen him get through the 5th, right, and have an opportunity to pick up the win and you know, and start to extend him a little bit more moving into the season, get his pitch count up.
Swing and a miss. Cowan came back with a changeup, strikes out Krause. That's a first out in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, you get a glimpse at the strikeouts that he had at Wofford. 2-2 changeup, which is on the outer half of the plate. The bottom just fell out of it. Did a good job of attacking it. How about Coach Johnson talking about? You remember in the coach interviews when he was talking about, you know, historically he's won with offense. That's been, you know, a lot of the places he's been. They've always been so good offensively, and very confidently in that discussion yesterday, he talked about how he felt really good about the depth on the mound. Not just the starters, they had pieces, they had different looks, they had different ways to match you up, and just a lot of depth. And he was excited to get a lot of guys in. Now, playing on Wednesday, going into a tournament this weekend, you're going to compress that a little bit. A lot of guys are going to get out there, so he's going to get a chance to see him.
The batter here, Joey Narrett. You see Narrett wears the number 11 on his jersey. Wears that in honor of his dad, who wore the same number when he won a D3 national title back in the early 90s.
I like that. I do like that.
Ground ball to the right side. Diving play made by Dickinson. Gets up and throws, and the ball goes off the glove of Jared Jones, and Narrett is safe.
Well, we've seen him dive to his right. We've seen him go a long ways to his left. Dive. Look how comfortable he gets up. He just missed it. Looks like to me, Brant. Watch him get up, so comfortable. Gets his feet underneath him. Makes a good throw. He does that 99 more times, then. Jones isn't going to miss that. He's frustrated with himself.
Runner on. 1 out for Jake Bennett. Swung on a drive out to left field. That is way gone. Into the upper deck. 2-run shot for the Patriots. It's a 2-run game.
I'll tell you what, one little miscue defensively, and then the pitch lands middle of the plate, and I mean, he unloads on this, and boy, you get another look. It ran right back into the middle of the plate. Brant gets it up into the upper deck, and just like that, we got a new ball game.
DBU playing some long ball here in the 5th. Second homer of the inning. And with the Patriots up to 9 homers as a team this season for Bennett, his second of the year. Hit a 3-run homer on Saturday against SIU Edwardsville. A towering shot against Cowan. Got a brand new game here. Felt like LSU was pulling away with that 4-run 5th inning with the way that Connor Ware was pitching. Grant Jay chased him out of the game with a solo homer to start this 5th. The error committed by Jones opening the door for a crooked number homer for Bennett. Now it's 5-3. 2-1 to Swinney. Fouled away for strike 2.
When you got power in your lineup, you're always in a game. I mean, one swing, you change your score, you can change the outcome, and certainly now in 2 swings, DBU's fought their way right back in here. Boy, that's a good take right there on a tough pitch. I mean, a tough pitch.
Swinney, the first-year transfer from Alabama. 2 seasons in the SEC, started 15 games for the Crimson Tide a year ago. That's worth the count full. Swing and a miss. What a changeup there from Cowan. That's his second strikeout.
Well, he takes the one before that was just below the knees. It's really tough to lay off of, and he did a good job with it. Oh, he comes right back. Watch this changeup just run right back down in below his barrel with good late action to it.
2 away for Luke Hefner.
It's been a while since I've called a game that I've seen so many changeups and good ones. Guys that have been able to use them. They're some of their top secondaries. Execute them on both sides of the plate. So far tonight, we've seen a bunch of them.
Luke Hefner, the son of head coach Dan Hefner, has spent a lot of time around this program growing up around Patriots baseball.
It's fun to watch. They got a lot of the same mannerisms, too.
That ball drilled to right field. Mick Paul retreats and makes a catch in the warning track. And that's going to end the inning. The Patriots go deep twice in the 5th. It's now 2-run games ahead of the 6th. Here from Globe Life Field, we're back after this on Flow College from Arlington, Texas.
Golden Chick's new Golden Bowl is so big, it's a whole lot of yes and a whole lot of yum. So if you like big bowls, then we cannot lie. The new loaded mashed potato bowl is a whole lot of Golden Chick, a big bowl you can't deny.
Woodcraft and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking, creating a long-lasting relationship with open and quick communication. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry. Because you're more than a customer. We're more than a bank, and together we'll work to help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, the support you need to reach your business goals faster. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
In the bottom of the 5th, the Patriots go deep twice. Grant Jay with his 4th home run over the past 3 games. Got the Patriots on the board to chase Connor Ware out of the game. And then 3 batters later, following a critical error committed by Jared Jones, it was Jake Bennett going deep. His 2nd home run of the year, a 2-run shot into the upper deck. And DBU is officially back into the game, now 5-3 as we head to the top of the 6th.
Well, if you're DBU, you get 2 good swings, change the lead of the game, the momentum of the game. Now you got to go out you got to try to put a 0 up if you're DBU right here. You got to go out there with an aggressive mindset on the mound, go play good defense. You know how potent this LSU offense is. You got to go out there. You got to try to, you know, put a 0 up on them because you just made up some ground against them.
Leadoff man for the Tigers, Derek Curiel. Batting for the 4th time tonight. Has been on twice with a couple of walks and has scored twice. So Curiel, Jones, and Fry due to hits. For the Tigers here in the 6th, Curiel puts a charge into this one. That's going to drop in for a base hit and reaches the warning track. And Curiel is on his way to second base for the leadoff double.
I was about to say just before he came up there that it seems like he's been up every inning, and it almost has been a ball away from him. He's just showing you the type of young hitter he is. Well, he just hits that ball well, stays on it. Good looking swing with that young man.
You're talking about Jay Johnson's desire to hit doubles. Well, that is the 4th of the game now for LSU. One of those doubles belongs to Jared Jones. He's 2 for 3.
Well, Jared Jones would love to get a hit here because he loves to hit, right? And he's an RBI machine and a really accomplished hitter, but probably somewhere deep in that mindset too. He'd love to get a hit and come up with that throw earlier the inning before. Just a competitor he is.
Count 2-0. This is 2nd inning of relief for Jared Jenkins for Dallas Baptist. Jared Jones, a freshman All-American back in 2023. The 28 homers last year, 4th most in program history. That's low for ball 3. On the Golden Spikes Award watch list, and according to D1 Baseball, the top-ranked first baseman of the country. Didn't get the green light and takes a fastball for strike 1. That ball smoked foul. Fills the count at 3-2.
Just a lot of power. But not just on top of that, Brand. He does a good job of covering the plate. I mean, that bat stays in the zone a long time, meaning he can cover balls away from him. Breakers running away from him.
Draws a walk. Jones is on for the 3rd time. And the first 2 have reached for LSU here in the 6th.
Didn't try to do too much. Got in the count, got it back in the count offensively. Jones did. Didn't chase the full count, didn't get over anxious. Take his walk. This lineup's so dangerous. I mean, you just kind of move to, when they're on, I mean, you can just move to the next guy. I mean, they're a 3-hole hitter, right? We're going to see, I think, the 3rd hitter in the 3-hole position today for LSU. Is that right?
That is correct. Fry not going to hit here for the Tigers. Instead, it's Josh Pearson. Ashton Larson started the game 3rd of the order for the Tigers. Into Fry and out of Pearson. Hitting in the 3-hole for LSU. 2 on and nobody out in the 6th. That's in there for a strike. Pearson, the senior out of West Monroe, Louisiana. Big part of the Tigers' run to the national championship back in 2023. Good career numbers as a Tiger, 20 homers. Puts a bunt down here. Going to be a tough play for Jenkins. And the throw to first base. Pulled him off the bag. And the bases are loaded for LSU.
Sacrifice bunt out of the 3-hole position for the 3rd hitter in that spot, showing the different ways they'll run their offense. They get the first two guys on, double walk. Let's move them over. It's going to be a tough play all the way for the pitcher. Up the line and just pulls him off the line, off the bag, and unable to catch it and tag at the same time.
Bases loaded, nobody out. So now Daniel Dickinson, who went deep his last time up. A 2-for-3 night for the Tigers' second baseman. Takes strike one from Jenkins. What a start for Dickinson to his Tiger career. Now 9 games at LSU since transferring from Utah Valley. He has 14 runs batted in.
Not a bad start, right?
A miss inside on the sinker at 92. Driven towards right field. That's going to slice foul. We'll see more of the SEC this weekend. Auburn, one of the 4 teams in town for the M&T Bank College Baseball Series. One ball, 2 strikes. On the ground towards short. Hefner can't field it. Everybody is safe, and the Tigers are on top 6-3.
It looked like his only play, Brant, I think, was going to be to go to third base. Since it was bases loaded, his momentum was going towards third. We get another look at it. It's a high hop. You see him reach for it. I think he might have peeked just a little bit at the runner at third to see if that was where he was going to go with it. Certainly not a double play ball, and I think that was going to be his most opportune play, was just to try to go to third.
Bases again loaded for LSU. Still nobody out. A 6-3 game, and Dan Hefner will go back to the bullpen. That'll lead to the 5th pitcher of the night for the Patriots. That's it for Jared Jenkins. And it looks like Mason Peters coming to the game now for Dallas Baptist. 6-3 Tigers on top, bases loaded, nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. We're back after this from Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. The LSU Tigers ranked 2nd in the country coming into the game tonight on top 6-3 here in the 6th inning. And Ty, you look at the resume for the Tigers program, incredible stuff for LSU.
It's incredible, it's impressive. It's representative of the athletic department, the fans, the history that started back really in the 80s, really got rolling, obviously, and then carried into the 90s. I think my senior year, we played LSU I mean, they were in the World Series that year. Ben McDonald was on that team. They had a really good club that year. And it just seemed like from that moment, they just became a mainstay, you know, in Omaha, Nebraska. Much like, you know, the Texas of the world. At that time, Oklahoma State was a continuation of going there every year, Stanford, and they've just continued on. I mean, look, baseball is really important in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and across the state of Louisiana.
Pitching change for the Patriots. Mason Peters in now for DBU. Peters, a first-year transfer out of Temple Junior College. 4 innings of work so far for Dallas Baptist. And Harris, the bases loaded, nobody out, and a 3-run deficit. Facing Stephen Milam, and the count evens 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch popped up. Left side of the foul territory, and from third, Atalo was there for the first out.
Well, every out's a big out. Certainly with the bases loaded with a run in already, we've had to change pitchers. Now, I think it's going to allow your infielders, your middle infielders, Brant, to maybe go back and play in double play depth and try to turn a double play, which reasonably you can think in your mind, hey, you're 1 pitch away from getting a ground ball, double play, get out of it. But obviously this LSU order might have something to say with that as well.
Now to the plate, Luis Hernandez. Bases full, 1 out in the 6th. A run already in for the Tigers here in the inning. LSU 6 runs on 10 hits tonight as Hernandez takes a pitch for ball 1.
If you're DBU would love a ground ball right back to Peters, and then or a hard hit ground ball somewhere in the middle with an opportunity to turn a double play to kill this inning. It's got a lot of a lot of potential to it. Just crawled back into the game. Got to fight some way to get out of here without any more damage done.
Jones at third base, Pearson at second, Dickinson at first. Bases full of Tigers in the 6th inning.
that is my size of popcorn right there behind home plate.
3-1 pitch hit towards center field, and on the run, Humphries makes a catch. Jones will tag from third and score to make it 7-3 LSU.
Good swing, allowed out. You know, the beauties of hitting with the bases loaded, the runner on third base with less than 2, even if you land on one, which he did, he scorches this ball to center. You still get an RBI sac fly out of it with a good at-bat. Well, it looked like Brandon was running away from him just a little bit. He did a good job of staying on it and driving it out to the outfield.
And now a 7-3 lead. 8th batter of the inning comes up for the Tigers, Michael Braswell. Or no, that is Mick Paul. Batting here for the Tigers. Braswell's on deck. Paul pops up the bunts. And the throw from Peters to Krause is in time for the outs. And that'll do it for LSU in the 6th inning. 7-3, Tigers on top of this matchup between 2 top 25 programs from Globe Life Field in Arlington. Your college sports have a home on Flow College. Watch more than 12,000 college sporting events from 100 schools and 12 different conferences only on Flow College. Head to flowcollege.com today to see everything now. 2 more runs for the Tigers in the top of the 6th inning. It's now a 7-3 game as we head to the bottom of the inning. Zach Cowan, his 2nd inning of relief for the Tigers. He'll face the top of the order for the Patriots. First pitch, Humphrey swings and pops it up. And it's Braswell from third who makes a catch for the first out.
Now 1 pitch, 1 out. Immediately after you score 2, DBU closed the gap a little bit on LSU. They come back, score 2. 1 pitch, 1 out. It looked like Calvin was going to go in there and go catch that ball. And I don't blame him. If I was a pitcher, I'd like to try to get in there and make sure somebody caught it, but gave way to Braswell, and he comes in comfortably, catches it for the first out.
Now Dottalo batting for the 3rd time, facing Cowan for the first time tonight. And Dottalo fouls off the pitch to fall behind 0-2.
Yeah, look at, those seats behind home. How comfortable and how much fun would that be to sit back there at ground level and to watch a game, have some popcorn, have a beer, whatever it may be, and watch.
That ball headed towards the corner in right field. Going to drop in for a hit for Dottalo. On his way to second base with a 1-out double. And Dottalo has now reached base in all 8 games this season for the Patriots.
Nice piece of hitting. You got to bring in the whole field to be a good hitter, meaning you got to be able to hit the ball pull side, middle of the field, the other way. He does a really good job squaring this ball up and driving it hard down the right field line for a double.
Like the Tigers, the Patriots a good doubles hitting team. 23 through their first 7 games, 9th most in the country. Dottalo going opposite way with that double. He's on with 1 out for Tom Poole. And can't check his swing. It's 0-1. This Patriot program coming off a 45-win campaign from last year, going 45-15, winning the Conference USA tournament title. Went on to play the Tucson Regional. And a program picked to win Conference USA again this year. 0-2. That's high for ball 1.
And a good baseball conference. I looked at Conference USA historically. He's been a multi-bid conference, regional-wise. Somebody's going to anoint you the possible winner of that conference. It's a pretty big statement, too, and a deserving one, too. Obviously, the tradition of the program.
Patriots picked to win it, followed by La Tech, Western Kentucky. Sam Houston and Liberty in the top 5. Well, how much has that conference changed over the past couple of years?
Golly.
And Poole goes down looking, strikes out for a 3rd time tonight. 3rd strikeout for Cowan. That's 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, looked like he snuck a 89-mile-an-hour sinker underneath him with a little bit of left to right run to it. As we get a, look at that thing run back in. Off the corner of the plate, runs right back and catches it. That's a tough and a really good fastball pitch to a left-handed hitter.
Now Grant Jay went deep back in the 5th inning. Big rip there, comes up empty.
Goes back out there again. Pitch before was into the left-handed hitter. That's almost unfair when that thing starts off the plate. A heater starts off the plate and runs back and catches the edge of the plate, but then he's just going to try to keep it away from him. I got to assume after that last at bat. I just got to think they're going to try to make him go the other way, empty his barrel, the middle part of the field, not allow him to do what he did last time, crawl his hands inside something and absolutely annihilate a baseball.
The 0-2. That gets away from Hernandez, and Dottalo now to third base for DBU. Again, tonight's matchup, the first ever between Dallas Baptist and LSU. Since the Patriots moved up to the D1 ranks in 2004, 21 years ago, they have played 74 games against the SEC, 31 wins all time.
Yeah, I was surprised when I read that. I would have thought, because both these teams are in the regionals every year, you would think they would have crossed paths somewhere in regional play at least.
1-2 pitch, got him looking on the fastball at the top of the zone. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cowan. This after the one-out double hit by Michael Dottalo. (7-3) LSU on top, all-time more than 260 big league draft selections for the Tigers, 20 first-rounders over the past 35 seasons. Back in 2023, 13 players drafted from that national championship team, an SEC record. A year ago, how about 8 pitchers taken, tying an SEC record, and a number that Ty brought up earlier, 87 players all-time that have made it to the big leagues.
Yeah, that man right there on the screen, Coach Johnson talked about, he wants people, recruits, to know if you come to LSU, it's a breeding ground for professional baseball.
Braswell leads off the 7th inning with a fly ball to rights. Joey Narrett tracks it down, 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 7th.
In line with what we were just talking about too, he talked about how they want to be known for that, sending so many guys to the big leagues and professional baseball, but he also wanted them to have the experience of playing in a pro park, right? I mean, that's all part of it too. What does it look like? This is what you want to become. You want to become a big leaguer? This is the type of parks they play in.
A look at Globe Life Field here in Arlington, not too far from Dallas Baptist's home ballpark of Horner Ballpark. 0-1 pitch is outside for a ball. And the Patriots, a great home team over the past decade plus, since 2013, a .751 winning percentage at home. That is the 11th best mark of the nation over the last 12 years. And our Kraus will visit with Peters.
you're going to win in college baseball, you got to have great coaches like that man right there on the screen. You got to have resources. You got to have the ability to want to be good at it. Pour what you've got to pour into it, facility-wise, budget-wise, coach-wise. College baseball is a big boy game now. I mean, it's resourcefully, when you start, you know, scouring all over the country and how big it is, how popular it is. If you're going to be good at it, you got to commit to it. Well, obviously, these two programs are and have.
Stanfield draws a walk. And has reached base now in 8 of the Tigers' 9 games this season. He's on with 1 away, the 7th. Back at the top of the LSU order to Derek Curiel. He was at a great game tonight. He's been on 3 times. He's scored 3 runs and doubled his last time up back in the 6th. We talk about starting off your college career with a bang. Curiel, through LSU's first 8 games, 16 total bases.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that come out of high school, different schools, that have a ton of hype to them, and most of them, and a lot of them, most of them, you know, live up to it. Some it takes longer, right? I mean, this young man has certainly made his presence felt early in Baton Rouge, and sometimes it's a lot of pressure. I mean, if you come in, everybody thinks, I can't wait to see this guy. He's coming all the way from the West Coast, and it's pressure on that young man, and he's nothing but just thrive in it.
94 the fastball there from Peters. A ball and strike to Curiel. And that time missed with the slider.
He's a little more in that fastball than what we've seen. 2 pitches before at 94. It's been a lot of breakers and off speed, but
all the way to the backstop, and an extra 90 feet there for Stanfield. The fastball just got away from him.
Well, he did. I mean, look at extra 90 feet at the expense of a wild pitch. But it was that same fastball that we, you know, velo-wise. Just making sure he makes eye contact, allowing the hitter to pull his eyes up to indicate he's ready.
(3-1) last foul by Curiel. Curiel opened the game with a walk, came over to score on Jared Jones's RBI double. Tigers would add 4 runs in the 5th and 2 more in the 6th. On top here, 7-3. Full count, and Curiel fights it off.
Watching Curiel right now, and he gets in the box. He does a good job of, he creates rhythm with his hands, Brant. When he gets in there, you'll see him start wiggling that bat, little tight, little small circles, just making sure he knows where his hands are. It's a rhythmic trigger for him. You see him just sit there, just wiggle those hands, just that bat ever so slightly.
That hits him. Curiel on for a 4th time tonight.
Well, he's sitting in the leadoff spot. You want your guy to get on, not necessarily this way every time. Looks like it got him in the armor, though, which is why you wear it.
18th time an LSU batter's been hit this season. And now the meat of the order coming up for LSU. Here's Jared Jones. With one swing, can break this game wide open. Takes the first pitch, breaking ball for ball one. And now dangerous count of your Peters has fallen behind Jones 2-0.
He just doesn't expand. Jones doesn't, and he gets himself into good counts, and people are trying to pitch careful to him because they know how good a hitter he is, and because of that, he finds himself in some good, really good hitting counts.
2-0 pitch. Big swing, but it drifts foul. There's Braswell at second base, or Stanfield rather at second for the Tigers. Curiel at first. 2-1 pitch. Out of the zone, runs the count to 3-1. Mentioned the Patriots won 45 games last year. The Tigers won 43 and played at the Chapel Hill Regional. Three-one pitch, fouled back. LSU went 13-17 to the ultra-competitive SEC. And they're picked to finish fourth in the conference this year. Full count to Jared Jones. 2 on and 1 away. That'll load the bases. Jones on for the fourth time, and that's also his second walk.
About what Coach Johnson was talking the other day about, he made somebody upset somebody at the SEC office because after they won the national title in 23 and 24, their first 4 weekends was something like, it was like, you know, opening weekend was Arkansas, Tennessee, Florida, then Vandy, all 4 weekends in a row. That's some tough baseball.
Second at bat for Josh Pearson. Suicide squeeze play. The catch is made. The throw back to third in time for the out for the double play. The Tigers run the suicide squeeze, but the Patriots get 2 outs on 1 pitch. Big defensive play here for the Patriots. Grant Jay catches the pop-up. Saw Stanfield coming home. Doubled off, trying to go back to third. And it's time to stretch in Arlington. LSU 7, Dallas Baptist 3. We're back after this from Globe Life Field in Arlington on Flow College. Tonight's 7th inning stretch presented by Amegy Bank as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning from Globe Life Field. 7-3. Tigers on top, and what a play tie to end the top half of this inning.
I mean, look, first of all, it's a bases loaded squeeze play. And so it's a high risk, high reward play, right? And so you got a young man, Pearson, who came up the inning before, who got the sacrifice bunt, right? Remember moving the runners over. So that's the way maybe he feels like, hey, let's give him a chance to do that again. He likes to handle the bat. Popped it up. But look, DBU made a great play, and I thought Dotello made a great play going back to the bag.
Fly ball out towards center field. Stanfield on the run, makes the catch just shy of the wall. Krause with a deep fly to start the bottom of the 7th.
And I thought Dotello made a great job of catching the ball, touching third base. I got to go to something else really quick. I mean, I've sat here and I've watched Stanfield twice now. Run out to center field. He plays shallow because he's got the speed. He has the ability intuitively, angle-wise, to go outrun the ball. And that last fly ball, he just makes it look so easy. But he plays really shallow for a center fielder. And he's got a lot of confidence in his ability to break on a ball, open up, and go outrun it and make the catches look easy. That play he just made was not easy. The one back earlier in the game, same way.
Cowan's 0-1, fouled off by Narrett. Count runs to 0-2. So far, Cowan 2+ innings of relief, 4 strikeouts for the Tigers. Only mistake, the homer he gave up to Jake Bennett, who awaits on deck. 0-2 pitch is high for ball 1. Off the plate on the sinker, 2-2 to Narrett.
Not going to be surprised if he runs that two-seam changeup on that same line away from him after going way off the edge with that heater.
Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Another strikeout for Cowan, his 5th. 2 outs to the 7th. And coming up, Jake Bennett for the Patriots. His last at-bat, a towering shot into the upper deck for Dallas Baptist, his 3rd homer of the year. And takes a first pitch strike from Cowan. Well, the 2nd home run of the year either for Bennett.
Tell you what, a good-looking, physical young man, too. You can see where body-wise shape where he gets a lot of his power. You still got to be able to swing it, right, and be able to create that power, but he has a really physical presence in that box.
Junior out of Louisville, Kentucky. First-year transfer to the Patriot program from San Jacinto College, where he was a 2nd-team All-American a year ago. Able to check his swing on the appeal down to first. (3-1) from Cowan. Off the plate, and Bennett will extend the inning with a walk. First walk of the night given up by Cowan. And that'll bring up Mason Swinney.
I think that walk might get a little bit of action in the Tiger bullpen. And we're going to see a little discussion at the mound. Try to give the guys a little in the bullpen a chance to start getting their Arms loose and going.
Here's Nate Yeskie, the pitching coach for the Tigers, two-time National Pitching Coach of the Year. Saw a couple of arms getting loose for LSU. The pitch count, per count, is up to 43. Looks like Kason Evans and Cooper Williams getting loose here for the Tigers.
I had a feeling Coach Yeskie was going to stay with him, and he is. Two things. One, to go out and talk to his pitcher about moving on from the walk, the two-out walk he just had, refocus, move forward, can't go back. Also give the bullpen a chance if needed. If he doesn't get out of this inning, then they're ready to go.
Patriots looking for the first two-out hit of the game. The Tigers have 5 for 11 with 2 outs tonight for LSU. If you recall that big 4-run 5th inning, all 4 runs scoring with 2 outs for the Tigers. And those 4 runs right now, the difference of the game. And I think it's a pitch clock violation. Too much time used by Cowan. That's ball 1. One pitch misses on the sinker. 2 balls, 1 strike to Swinney.
The thing about college baseball is it's changed with the pitch clock. Everybody's got something wrapped around their arms, their wrists, umpires, players. It used to be sweatbands.
The 2-1 in there for a strike. It's 2-2.
So look at the pitch com, look down, get your pitch location. Catcher's got one, coaches have one. So everybody's tuned in to what's going on.
2-2 pitch, shot towards left field, and on the run, making the catch, Curiel. Sliding to a knee to make the catch, and that'll end the 7th inning for Dallas Baptist. Some good defense from the outfield for the Tigers in the inning, and we head to the 8th. How about this play for Derek Curiel?
What can't this guy do? He just absolutely closes on a ball, turns his finger down, makes a catch. A lot of fun.
Spoke about this earlier. Dan Heathrow, the head coach for LSU, has the pleasure of coaching his 2 sons. Luke and David Hefner, who have both been around the program for a long time.
They have. They know what it means to be a Patriot, show up at the baseball field at DBU, the history of it, the meaning of it, the tradition of it. It's a family event for that family.
We head to the top of the 8th inning. 4-run lead for the Tigers. Dickinson, Milam, Hernandez batting for LSU in the 8th inning. A couple of crooked numbers for the Tigers tonight. 4 runs in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. One of the top offenses in the nation. Tigers scoring 78 runs in their first 8 games. And Dickinson takes that pitch out of the zone for ball 2.
Well, they've shown you a lot of creativeness tonight. 2 double steals, sack bunt, an attempted bases loaded squeeze play. Put a lot of opponents in their future, not only tonight, but the teams they're going to play. Know that the LSU is going to be pretty versatile offensively and show you a lot of different ways that you have to defend.
The 3-1 pitch is a miss. Dickinson on for the 4th straight time. Leadoff batter is on for the Tigers to start the 8th inning. That is the 4th time the leadoff batter has reached for LSU. And that'll bring up Stephen Milam. Again, the Tigers in Frisco this weekend. After that, a home series against North Alabama. Their first SEC series at home against Missouri in the middle of March.
LSU showing they're going to sacrifice bunt possibly, or and pull it back. A little slug play. A lot of times what you'll do, you'll show a sacrifice bunt to start it off. Start the at-bat off, put your bat out early, pull it back. A lot of guys will hit and run out of that, put the game in motion. Corner guys start to make their way up, looking for the bunt, create some hitting lanes for yourself. It's a great play. But you got to be able to handle the bat, too, and get on top of the ball.
That ball grounded through the left side for a base hit for Milam. His 2nd hit tonight, 2 on for the Tigers and nobody out.
Does get on top of that one. That was a hard hit ground ball. Not out in front of that breaker just a little bit, but I mean he leverages that barrel out. Now Coach Johnson's going to call an offensive timeout, bring his troops together, talk about what they want to do. And in return, I think we may see a pitching change.
Jay Johnson visiting with his team. Dan Hefner out to the mound. And will call for the ball for Mason Peters. So the Patriots again to their bullpen. And a sticky situation here for the Patriots reliever. Ashton Branson, 2 on, nobody out in the 8th inning. And the Tigers on top 7-3. And coming up, Luis Hernandez at the plate for LSU. What do you think this offensive timeout's about, Tom?
Well, 1st and 2nd. All right, so Coach Johnson was the one that called time first before Coach Hefner decided to make a change. I just wanted to talk about the possibility of a sacrifice bunt moving the runners.
We'll step aside with a new pitcher on the mound for the Patriots. Here in the 8th inning, 2 on, nobody out for the Tigers, leading by 4.
Curley celebrating 30 meters out.
There's 5,000 meters on the track, ready to roll. championship national lead.
Going to close there on her inside, but it looks like Shaheen could take this front to back. 200-meter final.
Brad Fisher, the American record holder. This is superhuman.
But Holloway crossed the line. He's only 3 100s outside the world record.
Ashton Branson into the game now for Dallas Baptist, the first-year transfer out of Crowder College, a junior right-hander from Little Rock, Arkansas, into the game now for the Patriots in a tough spot, tied 2-on, nobody out in the 8th inning.
It is, and you know, it seems like they have. LSU's had runners on all night and been successful getting the leadoff guys on several innings as well. But now you're in a situation from LSU. What they've done so far in the game would tell you they're going to script out and run a sacrifice bunt, and now it just shows you their versatility. Right now they're going to swing. Now they get. I mean, it just so many different things about how they attack you, and they're not predictable, which is good. I mean, because it tells you about their lineup, and we've talked about it probably as many times as you could tonight. Their versatility.
1 ball, 1 strike. Branson, the 6th pitcher for Dallas Baptist tonight. The starter, Ryan Borberg, went 4 innings. Since then, a lot of the bullpen for head coach Stan Hefner. 1-1 to Hernandez. Smothered by Grant J.
Now, there are times coaches in situations like this when you're trying to maybe, you know, late in the game, get the first 2 guys on, you'll give them a pitch or 2 to try to hit. See a pick in the middle of the field back to second base, but you'll give them a pitch or 2, and then if you, as a coach, you see, you know, I don't like the matchup as much, then there are times you'll change your mind as a coach and go to the bunt too, or you'll give them that offensive opportunity to hit early in the count.
3-1.
And now he's worked himself into a good offensive count. Looking in a certain area, a certain spot for a pitch to fall in there to get a good swing at.
Fastball in there for a strike. The strikeout numbers on the year for Branson, 8 in 3 innings of work. But this time misses the strike zone, walks Hernandez to load him up.
I think LSU's had the bases loaded the last 3 innings. At some point in the innings.
Tigers have left 11 men on base. Here's Mick Paul. Fouls off the first pitch. Sophomore out of Salt Lake City, Utah, was a medical redshirt last year for LSU. Takes that changeup for a strike, runs the count to 0-2.
Good looking changeup off that fastball into him the pitch before.
Swing and a miss. Elevated fastball struck him out. That's the first out of the inning.
Well, that's a good sequence of pitches. Fastball in to get the count started. Change up. Comes back elevated right above the catcher's mask. Well, as a hitter, you see that, and it just gets that. You get anxious and ready to hit it. You see elevation, something you might be able to get to the outfield. Just can't get to the top of it.
First out here, the 8th inning. And a pinch hitter up at the plate here for LSU. David Hogg, the second. A true freshman out of Mansfield, Texas, batting now for the Tigers. This is just the second at-bat of the year. His only other one was a pinch hit RBI walk against Southern. A lefty bat here for the Tigers, and Hogg takes a strike.
A chance to do it in home crowd.
Or Ryan Costello, beg your pardon. This pitch is popped up. Right side of the infield, gloved by Kraus. Second out of the inning.
Well, he's got a chance to wiggle out of this. The base is loaded, nobody out. Punch out. Fly ball out over to first base. Now he's one pitch away from getting out of a jam.
Now Cruz Stanfield with the bases loaded and 2 down. Strike 1 from Branson. Dickinson drew a leadoff walk. Milo a base hit. Hernandez a walk. Below the bases for the Tigers. Stinson back-to-back outs. A strikeout at a pop-up. And the 1-1 pitch. Foul back for strike 2.
If you're DBU, you need a moment like this to get out of this inning without any damage. You're already chasing 4 with 6 outs left.
And the pitch in tight. Ball 2.
Sure gives yourself a little bit better chance. It's already a tough hill to climb with a down 4, but give yourself a little bit better chance if you can get out of here without giving up any more.
Swing and a miss, and he got him. How about the pitching from Ashton Branson out of the pen for the Patriots? Bases loaded for the Tigers. Nobody out, gets out of the jam. Keeps us a 4-run game as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Stanfield goes down swinging. The Tigers have left 14 men on base, but still lead 7-3 here in Arlington. Chris Stanfield struck out to end the top of the inning with the bases loaded and looked back at his strikeouts in the top half of his frame.
Yeah, and it looked like the umpire called foul tip, and if so, that ball bounced. Before it got into his glove, he reaches in, looks into his glove like he caught it, calls foul tip. That ball hit the dirt. I mean, his at-bat should still be alive right now with a foul tip into the dirt, because he did. The umpire indicated, and he argued about it too. He looked back and said, no, I fouled it off. And it did, to me, clearly look like it bounced in to the catcher's glove.
New pitcher into the game for LSU, Cooper Williams. Out of the bullpen here for the Tigers. Freshman left-hander out of Alvin, Texas. Facing Luke Hefner to start the inning. Was rated as the 12th best left-handed pitcher in the country coming out of high school. The 0-1 pitch. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Adam Berghold, the pinch hitter here for Dallas Baptist, in place of Luke Hefner. Count now 3-1. And Berghold draws a leadoff walk to start the bottom of the 8th inning. So the leadoff man is off with the Patriots. Back at the top of the order for Dallas Baptist and Nathan Humphreys. Tough night for Humphreys so far. 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. First pitch from Williams in the dirt, blocked by Hernandez. 1 ball, no strikes. The starter for the Tigers, Connor Ware, in 4 innings, gave up a single run on 1 hit. Struck out 6. Zach Cowan, 3 innings of relief for the Tigers. 2 runs and struck out 5. 2 balls and no strikes to Humphreys.
Yeah, Williams having a hard time grabbing the strike zone right now. And that's obvious. You can see his teammates going to go out, try to calm him down, slow him down. And this is a big moment for him, also coming back into the state of Texas. And we get him to refocus a little bit. We were talking earlier about how big a prospect he was, was coming out of high school, but still how big a prospect he is moving forward. And tell you what, when you draw up 19-year-old left-handed, this is what they look like when you start talking about prospects.
There's a pinch runner at first base, Cody Grayback for the Patriots. Another miss, 3-0 to Humphreys. There's also a new third baseman of the game for the Tigers, Mikey Ryan, now at third for LSU. The 3-0 pitch in there for a strike.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you're chasing 4. I wouldn't be surprised if you take right here. I mean, you base runners are what you've got to have. I mean, you could line a ball up, hit it hard as you want right at the shortstop. So it wouldn't surprise me maybe if they take 1 more pitch. We'll see.
That one taken for a strike. Fills the count at 3-2.
You're chasing base runners. You got to do everything you can to get on base. Walks, hits, errors, you name it.
There's a walk. Humphries off for the first time. And the Patriots have something brewing here in the 8th inning. 2 on and nobody out.
Well, and that's the reason why you take the 3-1, right? If you swing at the 3-1, Brent, and you hit a missile right at somebody, it's an out. You take it not just because of that pitch, you take it because you want to make him throw the next one in the strike zone. And he did, and he earned a walk, and now we got another pitch and change.
Jay Johnson calling for the ball from Cooper Williams. Faces 2 batters, walks them both. That'll bring in Kason Evans, the freshman from Houston. We're back after this from Globe Life Field in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kason Evans making his 3rd appearance of the season for the Tigers. No runs given up in 4 innings of work, 9 punch-outs, a single walk in his 4 innings. Got a save against Omaha this past weekend. And here it's a couple of base runners with the Tigers protecting a 4-run lead.
Well, the stuff is electric. And it's a 84, 85 mile an hour slider. It's got a lot of swing miss to it. Above average fastball for a young pitcher. Change up. But right now his job is to come in and throw strikes. Try to create outs either with contact. But you've got to put the ball in the strike zone. You're protecting a 4-run lead. Let your defense try to go to work. And then the flip side of it is, if you're DBU right now, you've got your first 2 guys on with nobody out. You're down 4. Base runners are an obvious premium. Any way you can. And you're right in the part of the order that you want to be if you're DBU to have an opportunity.
Michael Detallo coming up. 2 on, nobody out. Dallas Baptist trying to claw back into the game. First pitch from Evans in there for a strike. Evans, a great 2-way player in high school here in the state of Texas. From St. Pius. Swung on and fouled away by Detallo. Evans was rated as the 9th best high school player in Texas coming out of high school. Through 3 no-hitters at St. Pius. Fastball a 95 out of the zone, ball 1.
Well, he walked right into the fire and he went 94 away. Fastballs away, elevates a 95 to try to get a swing miss on a waste fastball.
Came back with a heater, fouled back by Detallo.
Yeah, I've got him, threw that ball underneath him. When you do that, you've got a lot of different options now. You've thrown a 4 fastballs, 2 away, and the last one in. You would think something away.
On the ground to the left side. Milam to second for 1. There is no throw back to first base. The force out of second is the first out of the inning. And that'll place runners in the corners.
Well, it goes right back to the fastball again. It was away. Got what he was looking for, ground ball. Not hit hard enough or right at Milam where it was going to be a double play. But they do get an out of it.
Tough night for Tom Poole. 0 for 3 of those 3 strikeouts. And now facing Evans. No balls to the strike. Started him off with a fastball. A healthy dose of the heater so far from Evans.
Yeah, I mean, here it is. See what you can do with an approach right now with the fastballs. And look, it's been location on both sides of the plate.
The 0-2 just misses. Fastball at the top of the zone. Ray back at third, Humphries at first. 1 away in the 8th. 1-2 pitch to Tom Poole. Fouled away.
He's just aggressively staying with the heaters right now. And look, he's 93 to 95, and I mean, it's got good angle to it. It's got some late action to it. Obviously, he knows where he's trying to throw these fastballs because it's been on both sides of the plate and elevated. We'll see if he chooses in his sequence to break out a secondary.
The 1-2 came back with a changeup and it missed away.
Just off the plate. Good pitch, 83 mile an hour. You want it to be 9 to 11 mile an hour off your fastball. But it was just off the plate.
The 2-2. Count fails, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The tying run is on deck, Grant Jay. Big part of the order here for Dallas Baptist. Trying to chip away this 4-run lead. 3-2. Swung on, line right back to Jones, and a double play back at first base.
How about this game? You get a chance to crawl back in, you smash a ball to first base. First baseman catches it, runner at first, thinks it's going down the line for a double, maybe. Double play.
7-3 Tigers heading into the ninth. Back out at Globe Life Field here in Arlington, Texas, the home of the Texas Rangers, a ballpark that has hosted so many great events over the past several years in this game. A ballpark that seats more than 40,000. Opened back in July of 2020 during the COVID pandemic. It's been the home to a couple of World Series. The Rangers are the host of the Diamondbacks in 2023. And when the Dodgers played the Rays in that COVID season in 2020, and also the home of last year's Major League Baseball All-Star game. We start at the top of the 9th inning, 7-3 LSU on top. Patriots were threatening in the bottom of the 8th inning. But Tom Poole lined into a double play to end the threat, and we go to the top of the 9th. The first batter, Curiel, another base hit. He's on for the 4th time, making the 5th time tonight.
I'm almost running out of things to say. Just how impressive he's been. I'd love to say it's, this was like his, big time step into college baseball game night, right? No, he was already doing that before he got here. And such a heralded player. It's been fun for me to watch a young man with this kind of talent bring it out here against good pitching in a big moment like this and just have tremendous at-bat after at-bat. Play great defense. Just run the bases. He's been the whole thing, whole package tonight.
Jared Jones has been on 4 times himself. The 1-0 from Branson. And the fastball's in there for a strike.
Wouldn't be shocked either now at the top of the 9th with a 4-run lead. He guesses breaker and gets a chance to try to steal second as well.
Swung on, a drive out to right field. Narrett at the warning track has enough room to make the catch. That's the first out of the inning.
I'll tell you what, Narek had to go a long way to go catch this ball, and the nuances of this field, if you've never played, which they have, if you've never played here before, that right field starts to curve back towards the foul pole. Got a little bit more space than you think with the angle in the fence. Does a good job of staying with it. You see a little bit of the nuances of the field and the fence. Stayed with it, made a nice catch.
Pearson takes ball 1. One of 3 different Tigers to bat in the 3-hole tonight. Here's a fly ball out towards the left side into foul territory, and reaching back to make the catch is Detallo. That's out number 2.
Tell you what, 2 fly balls in this inning, 1 to right field. Right fielder made a pretty good catch, went a long ways. Detallo goes over to his, ranges over to his right. Has to make a good catch. That ball looked like it was going to go out of the, out of the stadium, meaning the playing field, not be able to be caught. But he stayed with it, made a nice grab with it.
2 down here, the top of the 9th. Looking ahead to the bottom of the inning, it'll be Grant J, Kraus, Naradu up for the Patriots, and we go to the bottom of the 9th inning on that ground ball to end the top of the frame. Tigers 3 outs away for their 8th win of the season, on top 7-3 here from Globe Life Field. 7-3, Tigers on top as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And you look at the 5th for LSU, 4-run scoring, all with 2 outs right now, tying the difference of the game.
It is. I mean, look, LSU has had offensive pressure on DBU all night, and DBU's been able to work out of some of those innings, but, you know, then those middle innings, LSU's offense was good and live. And now we get down to the funnest inning in baseball, the 9th inning.
Grant J leading off for the Patriots, to be followed by Krause and Neritz. And for Kason Evans, his 2nd inning of relief for the Tigers. Grant J added to his home run total. Back in the 5th inning, 46 of his career. Takes a pitch in the outer half and looks at strike 3. Strikes out for a 3rd time tonight, and that's the first punch out for Evans.
Well, obviously that's a big out. First out in the 9th inning is always a huge out, but well, this is a borderline, down at the knee, fastball away. Boy, even if you hit it, I mean, your best opt is you're going to foul that ball off. That is a quality fastball.
Now Jaden Krause looks at a slider for strike 1. Haven't seen much of the breaking ball from Evans.
No, but he just showed it to you in a leadoff pitch to the 2nd hitter, just to remind you it's in there. Not to get so your energy and your mindset set solely on seeing nothing but fastballs. That'll make everybody get on deck circle, and everybody else coming up behind him, if there are, realize that he can't throw it in there on the first pitch.
Swing and a miss. Came back with a breaking ball. Out secured at first base. And now the Patriots down to their final out.
Well, I'll tell you what, Evans has been everything we thought, was told, had seen before, way back in high school. Reputation, off the mound, and he has shown it so far tonight. I mean, he came into what could have been a pretty tight spot, and he has done nothing but just fill that strike zone up with hard strikes.
Has faced 4 batters, has to retire them all. And now the Patriots down to their final strike. (0-2) to Joey Neritz. Back up the middle, off the glove of Evans, coming in from second. Dickinson, the throw is in time for the out. And that'll close out the game for LSU.
I'll tell you what, seems only fitting for a guy who had a great offensive night, a great defensive night, for it to end this way as a ricochet ball over to Dickinson. But I'll tell you what, LSU was impressive tonight offensively with their versatility and their athleticism. DBU continued to fight, had opportunities later in the game to, you know, got back in it and had a chance even late in the game, but kind of battle you would expect from 2 really good baseball programs.
And how about the pitching tonight from LSU's bullpen?
Yeah, again, I mean, impressive. You know, anytime you can have those kinds of arms with different, you know, looks, change-ups, breakers, velo, all the above, and of course Evans coming in there with, you know, just, you know, for the most part being, you know, heater heavy at the end of it, but all in attack mode. And that was impressive for the Tigers out of the pen as well.
About to be joined by tonight's player of the game, Daniel Dickinson, the first-year transfer out of Utah Valley. Big night tonight for the LSU Tigers. On base 4 times, 3 hits, including a 2-run homer. And he joins us now. Daniel Dickinson, our player of the game. Daniel, have to start with a home run. Take us back to that swing.
Yeah, I mean, 0-2 count, start that bat. Good pitches to get me down in the count. Battled to come back, got a good pitch at the end, and put a good swing on it.
I'll tell you what, Dan, you must have enjoyed playing defense in here. 2 diving plays a night, then a ricochet play at the end to end the ball game. You must like this turf and this dirt or this playing surface out here.
Yes, sir. Hopefully I'm here one day.
15 RBI for you through your first 9 games as a Tiger. Daniel, how does it feel to be at LSU transferring in for your first season?
Just a blessing from God, man. I'm so thankful for every opportunity that I'm allowed to have. Excited to share the field with everyone on this field. Thankful for the opportunity to play here at LSU.
This team out to 8-1 start of the season. Just how much momentum are you guys playing with right now?
Yeah, super hot, ready to keep it rolling this weekend.
And looking forward to that. Again, Daniel Dickinson, our player of the game. Daniel, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
A 2-run homer for the Tigers is a part of a 7-3 win. LSU out to 8-1 start of the season.
I tell you what, that's impressive. I mean, the stats they brought in offensively and off the mound, we got to see the depth of the mound. We got to see the depth of their lineup. Their creativeness offensively. They played great defense tonight as well. Look again, and for DBU, I mean, they showed a lot of fight in this game too against a really impressive LSU pitching staff. But 2 teams that are going to go a lot of great things this year in college baseball, Brant.
That's going to wrap up our coverage here tonight from Arlington. The final score again, LSU 7, Dallas Baptist 3. As the Tigers improved to 8-1 on the year, the Patriots fall to 6-2. Coming up next, the beginning of another huge weekend of college baseball here on the M&G Bank College Baseball Series. Auburn against Ohio State this Friday, followed by Baylor and Oregon State here on Flow College. For Ty Harrington, I'm Brant Freeman saying so long from Globe Life Field. The Tigers win it over the Patriots tonight 7-3 here in Arlington, Texas.